Let me get my audio situated. What's poppin', everybody? Welcome to the live show tonight. Welcome to the live podcast. You're watching the Mikey T, the Movie Star podcast tonight. We have some crazy topics, y'all. We got some interesting topics to go over tonight. We have some interesting topics to go over tonight. Let me get everything situated for the live. Let me let everybody pop up in here. Definitely appreciate everybody tuning in. Posting up this poll right now. Definitely appreciate everybody tapping in. I'm sure a lot of you have heard the news. I'm sure all y'all have heard the news. We're going to go over it tonight. Gillie the Kid had quite a bit to say about Jim Jones, plus some interesting developments in this new 50 Cent issue, including some take on Power Book 3, Raising Canaan. What is up? What is up? Definitely appreciate y'all for tapping in. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you share this video on your way in. Couple things to talk about tonight. We got to go over this whole debacle that's going on the internet right now. I'm about to post it up. I'm about to post it up in the our own private chat window so everybody in the chat can vote on it. Posting it up right now. Everybody can vote in the chat. I want to know what you would take. Would you do the meeting with P. Diddy? Would you do the meeting with P. Diddy? Would you go out to dinner with Puff? Or would you take the $1 million? What up, Chicago? Appreciate you tapping in. Much love to Chicago on the tap in. So Jim Jones posted it, you guys. $1 million, $1 million in cash, or a convo with Diddy. I always take the convo. Some things are priceless. That's what Jim Jones said, you guys. $1 million in cash or a convo with Diddy. I always take the convo. Some things are priceless. Guys, imagine Jim Jones meeting Puffy before Dipset was given all of their opportunities. Imagine Jim Jones getting the opportunity for Puff to hear his brain, to hear out his thoughts, his intentions, his level in thoughts of expansion. Do you realize the money that Puff and Jim Jones could have actually made together? We could have seen the rise. We could have seen a rise of Max B, rest in peace, Stack Bundles, all under the Bad Boy Records umbrella, you guys. You got to think about the possibilities. But this is what a lot of people are saying right now. They're asking the question, would you take a dinner or a conversation with Jay-Z or $1 million? Would you do a verse from Jay-Z or $1 million? It's like a dinner, a verse from Jay-Z, of course. Jim Jones echoed 1 million or a convo with Puff. He's taking the conversation. That could end up being something priceless. And I'm going to ask everybody in here. Name one person Name one thing that Diddy failed at. Name one person he didn't make successful. Before you put your stupid laughing emojis up and before everyone says you're bugging Mikey T, you know what I'm saying? You say you're bugging Mikey T, you should take the $1 million. You know what I'm saying? And Gillie actually commented on this. Gillie and Wallow. Gillie commented on it. Wallow did not. Gillie, the man who's out there giving $1 million worth of game. Gillie's out there giving $1 million worth of game, and he commented on this as well. Mr. $1 million worth of game commented on it. You know, but look at Jim Jones' situation. What is he going to do with another milli? Buy another chain? Why not learn to flip a milli into 5? And guys, I'm still waiting for somebody to answer me. Who didn't Diddy make successful? Who was the failure under Diddy's supervision? Nobody. Who was a failure? Again, nobody. Nobody was a failure with Diddy. Mano even shouted out Jim on this. Lobby. Mano even co-signed his brother from the Lobby Boys. Lobby, meaning we came from the lobby. You know where we're from? When will we ever get a chance to talk to someone that stature? Someone the stature would never even take a meeting with us. We can make $1 million. We can get $1 million in the hood selling drugs. We can do that if we want to, but we don't want to do that no more. We want to make money legally. Keyword, legally. What is $1 million? I made $1 million selling crack in Flatbush. I went to jail for that shit. Me, Casanova, we was all millionaires before we was millionaires. You know what I'm saying? We was all millionaires before we was the millionaires that people saw. Guys, you know what I'm saying? Y'all hearing me right now? Y'all hearing me right now? These dudes was millionaires in the streets beforehand. What is another million going to do for them? They need to learn how to multiply their money. They're waiting for their opportunity to speak with Puff. Like I said at the beginning of this video, the moves that Jim Jones and Diddy could have made together could have led to a priceless situation. Look, same thing with Tony Yayo. You know, you think Tony Yayo wouldn't take a meeting with Diddy over $1 million? Let's be real. He was just on an interview saying how much Puff screwed up by not signing 50 and all them. You know what I mean? He was just saying how much Puff messed up by not actually signing them. I want you to teach me so I don't have to go to Koch Records and then go back to Rock Nation. You know what I'm saying? And then go back to this and go back to that. First of all, Jim Jones, you guys, is a major businessman. Jim Jones lives by that phrase. You get what you negotiate, not what you deserve. He invented that phrase, which is why he never got jerked out of any deal that he has been on. You can think he's a dumbass, Jimmy from 5H. He don't know nothing, right? He didn't. He started off as security. He didn't know nothing, but he learned. That's the key word, you guys. He learned. He learned the game and he made it multiply. That's why he knows a conversation with Diddy is worth more than taking that cheap cash. Ask any artist out there who got the $1 million advance but didn't have the team. You fall under this category. Gillie commented on this. Gillie had to check this situation. Dude, you tripping. Take the cash, Jimmy. Laughing emoji, laughing emoji, laughing emoji, dead, 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 dead emoji. Gillie the Kid went in. Gillie the Kid went in. Take the money. Take the money when I think we all know, in fact, Gillie the Kid's situation with Tamba Ali, who allegedly gave him $1 million for the whole Religion Records, which turned into Relume Records. If Gillie would have had a situation with Puff, it would have been bigger than $1 million independent situation. I'm just being real, you guys. I'm just being real. I don't want the cash. Why is it always about money? The show that Gillie has is called $1 Million Worth of Game. Why don't you get it? I want the game, not the $1 million. You're entitled to your opinion. Put up all your laughing emojis. Whoever is putting up laughing emojis, is actually kind of ignorant in this situation. Do that. Take the $1 million and go hang out in the lobby again. I'll pose the question to everybody who's just tapping in. I'll pose the question again. And the question is, who that messed with Diddy didn't become successful? I'm asking y'all in the chat right now, who that messed with Diddy did not become successful? I will give y'all a second to answer this. And you guys can vote in the poll right now. Would you take the $1 million? Would you take the $1 million or would you take the conversation? Because I know what Puff Daddy can do for Mikey T, the movie star. Puff Daddy or some independent guy comes and gives Mikey T, the movie star, $1 million. But then Puff Daddy comes in and says, hey, Mikey, I'm going to give you $1 million plus the dream team. Who in their right mind turns down Puff Daddy? Everybody out there talking about, yo, put $1 million in my pocket and I'm going to take over the game. Y'all, a lot of these dudes that get $1 million in their pocket, they don't even know what to do. They don't even know what to do, you guys. I need everybody in here to hit that like button and share this video one time. Jim Jones was a better businessman when it comes to the music industry. You know what I'm saying? Jim Jones is actually a really good businessman when it comes to the music industry. You know what I'm saying? For everyone just tapping in, we're going over this situation. Jim Jones actually posted up. He posted up on social media, $1 million in cash or a convo with Diddy. $1 million in cash or a convo with Diddy. Jim Jones said, I always take the convo. Some things are priceless. And this is what most people say, like a dinner, a verse from Jay-Z, or $1 million. A dinner with Jay-Z, of course. Working with Jay-Z, of course. Jim Jones is echoing that sentiment. Jim Jones is pretty much echoing that sentiment, you guys. Jim Jones is taking the conversation. And that, as he said, could end up being something priceless. People want to talk about making the band. People still talk about making the band 20 years later. We're still talking about making the band. That's why Diddy is so unorthodox. He always comes with a new way, a new scheme, a new delivery. You guys, making the band is in no way, shape, or form a failure. Making the band is something that has kept the general public talking for 20 years. So look at this right here. I want anybody in here, name one thing Diddy failed at. Name one thing Diddy failed at, you guys. Name one person he didn't make successful. Name one person that Diddy didn't make more successful than when they came and started messing with him. Anybody that ever left Diddy left more successful. So everybody in here, before you start putting up your stupid laughing emojis and you start saying, Mikey T, you're bugging. You should take the $1 million. Oh, but I thought Gillie is supposed to be giving out $1 million worth of game here. You know what I mean? And I know Gillie the Kid, major figures, that whole imprint, meeting Bad Boy would have done them more justice than just getting $1 million. And that is actually proven. That is actually proven history. So for anybody out there that thinks they're just going to go run to the independent circuit before they're even known, take a look. Take a look at some of the people that Diddy has actually put on, man. Take a look at some of the people, man. What is Jim Jones going to do with $1 million? Is he going to buy another chain? Why not learn to flip $1 million to $5 million? And like I said, I'm still waiting for someone to answer me. Who didn't Diddy make successful? Who was a failure under Diddy's supervision? The answer is nobody. Black Rob, rest in peace. Great man. Met him at the G Unit offices. We all know the height of Black Rob was woe. We all know the height of Black Rob was woe, you guys. G Depp. Free G Depp. He's getting out soon from what I hear. G Depp would have never had special delivery. Special delivery would have never reached the heights that it reached under Diddy. I think we can all be honest about that. Craig Mack would have never been placed alongside B.I.G. and the Big Mac. Share this video one time. He would have never been placed alongside him. Danity Kane would have never got the mainstream publicity. All 5 or 6 of those girls would have never been placed on national TV and got 2 or 3 opportunities to sell albums. Nobody would know the women from Danity Kane if it was not for Puff. Mano even co-signed it. Mano co-signed his brother, Jim Jones. Mano co-signed it, you guys. He said, lobby. And for anybody out there who doesn't know, Jim Jones and Mano are the Lobby Boys. The Lobby Boys are a new rap group that you should be well aware of. Check out the new album that they put out. Mano salutes him. The first one to comment that I saw. Lobby, meaning we come from the lobby. You know where we're from? You know where we're from? When will we ever get a chance to talk to someone of that stature? Do y'all understand where we come from? The projects, the streets. We'll never get the opportunity to have a meeting with Diddy. So when we get that, we ain't blowing it off. We ain't taking it lightly. This is the man that took Mace from Cameron and made him a celebrity. Otherwise, he would have been still rapping about selling morphine for more green. Let's be 100% real. Let's be 100% real. Turning down a conversation with somebody of that stature is ludicrous. These guys, they literally can make $1 million selling drugs if they wanted to, but they don't want to do that no more. We want to make money legally. Key word, you guys. Legally. What is $1 million? I made $1 million selling crack in Flatbush. I went to jail for that shit. Me, Casanova, we was all millionaires before we was millionaire people like us. Same thing with other people. You think Tony Yayo? Salute Tony Yayo. You think Yayo wouldn't take that meeting with Diddy over $1 million? Let's be real here. I'm talking about the Lobby Boys. One chain on their neck is worth $1 million. What do they care about money? They want the knowledge. I want you to teach me so I don't have to go to Koch Records and then go back to Rock Nation and go back to this label and then go back to that label. First of all, Jim Jones, you guys, is a major businessman. Jim Jones lives by the phrase, you get what you negotiate, not what you deserve. He invented that phrase, which is why he never got jerked. He never got jerked out of any deal. He never got jerked out of any deal that he has been on. You think he's a dumbass? Oh, Jimmy from 5H. He don't know nothing. He started off as security. Throw all the jabs you want, right, at Jim Jones. He didn't know nothing, but he learned. Gillie the Kid commented on this. Of course, Gillie the Kid sounded off. Gillie the Kid had to check this situation. Gillie said, dude, you tripping. Take the cash, Jimmy. You tripping. You tripping. Take the cash, Jimmy. Take the cash, Jimmy. Gillie's telling him to take the cash. Gillie, would you have taken the cash? In retrospect, Gil, you're my dog. But please don't tell me that Major Figures on Bad Boy wouldn't have been that damn thing. Major Figures on Bad Boy would have been the look. Never mind $1 million to go back and promote yourself. I don't want the cash. Why is it always about money? The show Gillie has, it is called $1 million worth of game. Why don't you get it? I want game, not the $1 million. Share this video, everybody. Share this video, y'all. Share this video. Everybody support this video. Hottest blogger right here. Why is it always about the money? You know, the show Gillie has, it's called $1 million worth of game. You know what I mean? I want the game, not the millions. Not the $1 million. I want the game so I can go off to get my millions. So I can start my career. Give me the game, Puff. I ain't trying to be one of these nobody independent artists. Give me the game, Puff. I know how it goes. You go mainstream and then you go independent. But you know what? You're entitled to your opinion. Y'all can put up your laughing emojis. But in my opinion, whoever puts up the laughing emojis is just kind of ignorant. Do what, take the $1 million. Take your $1 million and go back and hang out in the lobby again. And I'll pose the question once more. Who that messed with Diddy didn't become successful? Who that messed with Diddy didn't become successful? Huh? I'm waiting. I'm waiting on the answer, y'all. Who that messed with Diddy didn't become successful? Jim Jones, it's evident. Jim Jones is a businessman when it comes to this music shit. You know what I mean? When it comes to the music industry, Jim Jones is a very good businessman. There's no doubt about that. You know what I'm saying? We even know a lot of the Dipset members to this day. You know what I mean? Jim Jones, the way that he put on for Dipset is the reason why you'll never see nobody from Dipset dissing Jim Jones. And if they did, they're going to go back on it. You know what I'm saying? That's like saying Steve Jobs is an idiot. I'd rather take $1 million than link up with the person who made the iPod and the iPhone. Imagine saying something like that. Imagine saying something like, oh, Bill Gates is a moron. Give me $1 million. I don't want to be the next Microsoft. I'm from the streets. Dudes don't use computers. What do we need to link up with the owner of Microsoft for? Imagine saying that type of shit. Imagine saying that type of shit. We got real ones tapping in, you guys. Joel Santana tapped in on this. Joel Santana tapped in on this. You know what he said? He said, get it. He echoed Jim Jones. He didn't try to laugh at him. He didn't try to point out that he was doing wrong. Jim Jones, like, bro, Jim Jones has been at the helm of the mountain. He's been at the top of the mountain, and he came there all the way from the independents. He didn't just get a Def Jam deal. He didn't just get a deal with Def Jam, you guys. He didn't just ink that deal based off his relationship with Cameron. He had to work his way up from the independent spectrum when nobody believed in him. When nobody believed in him. Yeah, it's got you stupid in here right now with no one caring about your comments. Mikey T runs the internet. Let him know that shit. Joel Santana co-signed Jim Jones as well. It's good to see the Dipset brothers sticking together. As I said, you won't see Dipset really going at each other like that. And if you do, you're going to see an apology come up quickly after. You're going to see an apology come quickly after. Joel Santana co-signed Jim Jones as well. There's nobody that's going to disagree because why? Because he feeds his team, which is why people can say whatever they want. He plays the game by the actual street rules. He feeds his team. There's no ifs, ands. You know what I'm saying? Had Max B and Stack Bundles been around a little bit longer, and just to be real, had Max B not bit the hand, he would have fed them. Let's be real. Max B was uncontrollable at that time, and you see where uncontrollable lands you. But he can tell you that himself in 2025 when Max B gets out of jail. And that's no disrespect to him. Stack Bundles was loyal. Stack Bundles was next up. The Rockstar album, he was next up. He was going to take over the world. He was going to take over the world. I love how everybody's hating Mikey T with 500 people in here right now. Hey, man, when they come here to get that raw street hip hop news, you know they're just going to keep coming back for more. Shout out to True Life. That's my bro right there. Everybody share this video one time. Everybody share this video one time. Max B is coming home in 2025. And I'm sure he's going to tell us the real story about Max B and Jim Jones. I'm sure he's going to talk the realest shit about Stack Bundles and share some of the best memories. Stack Bundles was loyal, you guys. He was next up. Like I said, the Rockstar album, he was next up. He was gonna take over the world. The streets was ready. The Rockstar album was coming out, and then he got killed tragically. And who got blamed for it? Oh, that's right. Yeah, that shit's foul. Chinks loses his life, and who gets blamed for it? Yeah, that's right. That shit's foul. And I'm just pointing it out there, man. I'm not a conspiracy theorist blogger or anything like that. I'm just pointing it out there. So Diddy actually commented on this, you guys. Diddy actually chimed in. Hip Hop DX actually posted it, and Diddy actually chimed in. And Diddy said something that's actually kind of funny. Diddy actually said, I would take the million. I ain't gonna lie. Diddy chimed in and said, I would take the million. I ain't gonna lie. How funny is that? So after everybody's coming to Jim Jones, like, yo, you're the real, yo, that get it, da 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 da. Diddy comes in and actually says, I would take a million. I ain't gonna lie. Wow. Puff Daddy just comes out and says he would take a million. Right. So now y'all are probably thinking Diddy said he would take the million. I'm not gonna lie. And you know what it is? It's because Diddy doesn't want to show you how to be successful. Why would I give out the game? The game ain't for sale. That means you would be my competition. If I give you the game, you become my competition. What do we see? What do these industry dudes do? What do these industry dudes do, y'all? They never give out the game. They'll bring you to the top. They'll bring you all the way. It's going down, right? They'll bring you all the way to the top. It's because Diddy doesn't just want to show y'all that. Why would I give out the game? The game ain't for sale. This now means that you're my competition. If I told you everything I know, Diddy is really saying, I'm a dumbass. I can teach you. I can teach you. I can teach you, AKA, I'm going to ask y'all, do y'all know sarcasm? Do y'all know what sarcasm is? The word sarcasm, look it up in the dictionary. It's when someone is being slick with their comments. And Diddy is a slick talker. This comment, Diddy is poking fun at himself. Don't you see it? I would take the million too. 9 out of 10 people would say that Diddy would answer like that in a sarcastically funny way. They would want to believe that Diddy was that type of individual. The majority of the public would want to believe that. You know what I'm saying? Diddy is poking fun at himself because, again, I'm waiting for anybody. I'm waiting for anybody to answer this. Who did P. Diddy F with? Like, who did he F with that didn't go up? Everything he touches goes gold. Was Ciroc a failure? Was Ciroc a failure? Nah, Ciroc wasn't a failure, but effing kind of was. Was Mace a failure? No, but Banks kind of was. You get what I'm trying to tell you. The guy made a reality show called Making the Band. Hit MTV classic. People wanted him to bring it back till literally till today. It's classic. You get what I'm saying? Everything the guy does works. Alcohol, he's doing vodka. Oh, it's not going to work. Ciroc is on every table at every club. He doesn't care if you think his ways are not going to work. You're sampling 80s music. This is hip hop. What are you doing? Well, guess what? His whole album is full of 80s samples, and it inspired who? Kanye West, who said, I like sampling music too. I'm going to be the next Diddy. Y'all hear what I'm saying here? Y'all hear what I'm saying, man? And we got to talk about power. Now we got to talk about power because 50 Cent's son actually posted Power Book 3, Raising Marquise, Family Business, when in actuality, it's Power Book 3, Raising Canaan. Now, he actually posted, he went crazy. He said, nah, who made this? I'm not stupid. I went to private school, remember? My pops don't be entitled to your feelings. I don't need $1 from you. And if you need me to promote your show, just say that. Somebody tells stars, I got a story to tell. We know what the people want to see. Red light, green light, 1, 2, 3. Hashtag it's in my blood. First of all, let me just bring this back. I wish I had the clip for y'all. And as soon as we get major mainstream syndication, I'll be bringing the clip up. But first of all, Marquise, I told you that Tyreek is you. And that means you don't have shit to tell stars because your father actually already gave them the story anyways. He probably based Tyreek on you, in my opinion. So, what do you really have to offer stars? What do you have to offer stars now? It's too late. Power Book 3 came out a couple seasons ago. It's actually old now. Everybody in here share this video one time. What are you going to go up to stars and tell them? First of all, little kid, you don't know how to do business. Your father is trying to get off stars because they're not giving him his just due. You would get a shitty deal at stars. You know what I'm saying? You'd get a shittier deal if your father didn't speak on your behalf. Do you know how many subscribers literally probably left stars? You know how many subscribers they probably lost when they found out your father's material wasn't going to be on there no more? And let me tell you, you don't have that power. You don't have those negotiating tactics. I mean, you don't have the 25 million followers. You don't have the power. Good luck. You know the number for the Stars office? Walk up in there. Tell them I'm 50's son, Marquise. I got a story to tell. They'll probably tell you, we do great business with your father. Take this shit to HBO. Talking about Stars, holla at me. Stars doesn't holla at anybody. They're damn near $1 billion cable network. And first of all, who uses the term holler at me? That's not the way to even talk to the execs at Stars. They'll be like, holler. He wants us to yell at him? Stop talking the street slang with the business executives, first of all. Yo, if you want to be taken serious, why don't you speak in a serious manner? Maybe start with, my name is Marquise. Maybe actually email reaching out to the execs to see if they would be interesting in shopping the deal. You do realize it's a conflict of interest because they're doing business with your dad, but maybe get some advice like, yo, Stars, holler at me. Why would we? We already have Power Season 3. Marquise could have played Tyreek. Kid could have been a movie star, if you ask me. And he says, I'm not stupid. I'm not stupid. I went to private school, remember? Tyreek went to private school. We get it. Okay, you're not stupid. People who go to private school don't say, holler at me. They say, give me a call. Can we conduct business? Send me an email. Let's say they even wanted to entertain your shit show TV idea. How would they even go about hollering at you? You know what I mean? Do they have your phone number? Your contact info? You think they're going to hit you on Instagram? How would they holler at you? They're going to talk to your guardian, your mother. Do you have an entertainment lawyer that could, direct that you could actually direct them to even holler at you? You're not ready. You're just talking. I don't like people who just talk to talk. You can't even run a sneaker store with a full inventory. What makes you think, you know what I mean? You think it's easy to be Tyreek, to play an actor? You know the cast of BMF went to acting school? You think them dudes were just pulled off the street to play Big Meech and his brother? Huh? Are you willing to dedicate yourself to acting school for 8 to 10 months? Apparently not, because you couldn't even dedicate yourself to running an online retailer. I'm not buying what you're selling. I'm not buying what you're selling, Marquise, and nobody is. You're talking just to talk, and nobody on this planet believes you, and nobody shows compassion to you because the way you carry yourself. Nobody shows the way you carry yourself, man. The way you carry yourself is just making you crazy. And this is because 50 Cent posted a new promo clip, you guys, for BMF Season 2, as well as Lil Meech, the star of BMF, responding directly to 50 Cent's son himself. Little Meech said, you stupid. And then he added him, I'll take 5 over there myself. I might even play some games with you. So we got Little Meech, the actor in 50 Cent's new show, actually responding to 50 Cent's son. That's kind of crazy, in my opinion. Little Meech said, I'll take 5 over there by myself. He said he will take 50 Cent to you himself, and they may even play some games. Here's the thing, man. You missed the boat, Marquise. If you're not acting right, you're acting funny style. You wasn't acting right. You're not going about it the right way. And honestly, all it takes is a phone call to say, I want to chill. Let's go to that spot that you used to take me to get ice cream, Ben and Jerry's. Let's chill. But you say 6,700 is not enough for me. You know, it's like a cry for attention. You start a conversation with your man. Start a conversation with your dad. Don't run out of the jewelry store on your dad, telling your dad you're not scared of him. He's like, why would you be scared of me? 50 must be like, this kid is not even allowing me to be a father. Now, all of a sudden, he has a change of heart. You know, I get it. I get it, man. People laughed at you. You know, people literally probably laughed you off the internet off that $6,700 shit. You probably be getting all types of hate comments. You said some of the dumbest shit. You did it to yourself because you're doing it in such a way that you're crying for attention. But all the attention you're getting, everyone is saying to themselves, this kid is out of his damn mind. This kid is out of his damn mind. You know how many kids, would love to have a pops like him? There's fathers out there that don't got it like yours. Kids that need to accept pay less, shoes, different clothes, and you're over here being picky about Jordans because you want the ones that Drake is wearing. You're not Drake, man. You want that shit that's exclusive. You know what I mean? You don't get to have all that exclusive shit, man, just because you're someone's kid. You know what? At a certain point, you got to earn it. Why don't you date one of the Kardashians or something? Get lit like that. Why don't you do that? You know what I mean? You know how much litter French got after he was messing with Khloe Kardashian? It's a different fame. Now everyone knows who French Montana is. Why don't you make people know who you are? You know what I'm saying? Little Meech is more loyal to 50 Cent than his own son. Do you understand? 50 handpicked Little Meech. He said, I want it to be authentic. I want it to be you, but I don't know how to act. 50, I'll mess this up. Little Meech probably told him. I'm a street dude. Don't worry, Little Meech. I'll help you. I'll guide you. He's a mentor to him. People ask, why does he care about Meech's son so much? He needs to take care of his own. He tried. What are you going to do to someone who doesn't want to be helped? What if Little Meech said, you're bugging. I'm not doing this role. You don't have my blessing. Guess what 50 would have done? 50 would have bought the rights and got someone else to play Meech. You have to play nice with 50. And not for nothing, he is a fair dude. When you sit back and analyze it, he's fair. I don't see Rick Ross making a documentary about Freeway Rick Ross. Do you? You know why? Because he would never get the blessing from the real Rick Ross. But if Rick Ross, the rapper, acted right, he could have did that. I don't know why he didn't. You know what I mean? I don't know why he didn't by now. It's really a shocker to me. I don't know why it never occurred to him to actually do that. You know what I mean? So if you're not acting right, you're acting funny style. Rick Ross and Freeway could have done something. They could have got Rick Ross's actual son to play him, sent him to acting class, Could have been a big budget film, never mind a miniseries. But no, the real Rick Ross had to do it on his own. Lil Meech said, I'll play games with you. I'll play games with you. Jesus. I'll play games with you. You're a little kid. What do you want to play? Dominoes, Monopoly, poker. What other games do children play since you're dying for all this attention? Your pops is busy. I'll play games with you. You want to play PlayStation 5 while we get rich and your ass plays PlayStation 5 because you're a child? That's why. That's why Little Meech, that's what Little Meech means when he says that, you guys. You're not ready for the real world. Lil Meech shot up after BMF. I'm talking about 5,000 people on his live streams. He really took advantage of the chance that 50 Cent gave him. Just like Marquise could have, but now there's a stranger playing you when you literally could have played yourself because you're acting funny style. Because you're acting funny style, you lost the opportunity to play a character that I think was really based on you in the Power Show. What up, what up, what up? Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Mikey T, the movie star here. You know what we're talking about. Jim Jones made the post, man. $1 million in cash. Jim Jones asked. Jim Jones asked it, y'all. $1 million in cash or a convo with Diddy. I'm about to check the poll. I want to see what y'all are saying. $1 million. 95% of the people in the chat say, Mikey T, we would like $1 million. Well, guys, Jim Jones disagrees with you. Jim Jones said, I always take the convo. Some things are priceless. Give me 1 second. Jim Jones says he would take the conversation, you guys. So Jim Jones disagrees with the majority of y'all in here tonight. I remember when this first conversation was brought up, but I believe it was, would you rather have a verse from Jay-Z? And I think a verse is more substantial, you guys. Honestly, I believe a verse is more substantial. Hold on. Let me see if I can get my dog. Let me see if I can get my dog Milk to tap in. Give me that money. I want that money. So that's the question. It's like, would you rather take $1 million? Would you rather take $1 million or would you rather have a conversation with Diddy, the man who literally has been in the music industry since, you know what I mean, the inception of gangster rap? You know what I mean? Literally, he was right there at the helm of the golden era of music. If we think past that, you can probably name about 20 people off the top of your head that Puff Daddy has basically ushered into the music industry, you guys, to be one of those 20 people who got the opportunity to spark a conversation with Diddy and ended up signing with Bad Boy. You're telling me you're going to give up that opportunity. You're going to give up the opportunity to actually create a relationship with one of the innovators of the music industry. Well, you know what, man? There's a lot of people out there who don't really have the same drive, I should say, as a Jim Jones. You know what I mean? There's not many people out there like a Jim Jones and a Cameron who could come out and create a record label, to be honest with you guys. So you got to have that type of a drive in your life, man. You got to want to be like 50 Cent. You got to be like, want to create a G unit. You got to be like Fredro and Sticky Fingers. You know what I'm saying? You got to be like, Mr. Cheeks and Freaky Ty. You got to be trying to create something for yourself. You know what I mean? I'm sure everybody out there, everybody wants $1 million. Everybody wants $1 million. Let's just be real. I know dudes, I watched dudes' career played out who got $1 million and they didn't know what to do with it. You know what I mean? I talk to rappers, you know what I mean? I talk to rappers who are like, yo, I got it, but I just don't know what to do with my music career. I got it, but I just don't know what to do with my music career. Imagine how sad that shit sounds. You know what I'm saying? I just sent the link to Turk. We're gonna see if my bro Turk taps in. He's probably be like, he'll keep it real on this one though. He'll keep it real on this type of topic though, to be real with you. What the hell's my guy 10? Oh, come on, man. My internet's all slowing up, you guys. Excuse me. I'm trying to send this link to a few of the homies. Trying to say, what's everybody smoking tonight, man? I see everybody in the chat is disagreeing with Jim Jones. Everybody, Gillie said, yo, dude, take the cash, Jimmy. Gillie had to shut that down real quick. But you know what? Come on, Gil. It's $1 million worth of game. It's $1 million worth of game. Let's be real. Come on. You know how much game? I know for a fact. I know for a fact what Diddy could have did for, but honestly, a lot of people look at the whole situation with Diddy and Mobb Deep from back in the day. You know what I mean? Diddy not being able to really manage hardcore street artists. We looked at what happened with Shine. You know what I mean? Shine was one of the most gritty street artists that Bad Boy actually had throughout the whole duration. Let's be real. You know what I mean? There was a lot of glamour and glitz to Big, all the guys, Mace, Black Rob with Whoa. You know what I mean? That's glamour and glitz enough. Shine was really that gutter dude. And then Shine got in a crazy situation. And I'm going to be doing an interview with Hot Boy Turk. If I get, all right, we got 200 people in here. All right, hit that like button. If I get 200 likes on this video, I'm going to see if we can do the interview live. If y'all hit that like button right now, show me that y'all want me to do it live. I'll do a live interview with Hot Boy Turk tomorrow. Hit that like button if you want me to do it live. If I get 200 likes for the duration of this video, I'll do it live. Smoking on that cherry lime gelato. Okay. All right. Post up what y'all smoking. Blueberry Kush. Y'all are watching the Mikey T, the Movie Star podcast. If you didn't know, make sure you subscribe if you didn't. If you didn't subscribe, make sure you subscribe to this shit right now. You heard? Don't miss the opportunity. You are watching greatness. You are watching the. I'm about to put the podcast on all them networks like Apple and Spotify as well. You know what I'm saying? Some big changes and shit like that is coming. I know a lot of people like to listen to the stream. Okay, my boy Jeff Rowe is smoking on that Gorilla Glue. I was heavy on that Gorilla Glue. I was heavy on that Gorilla Glue for a minute. The GG4, that shit was right. Yep, exactly. It's got them being savvy businessmen. You know what I'm saying? Like I kind of explained it a little bit earlier with Jim Jones actually rising to the top from the independents. You know what I mean? Jim Jones got his chance to actually, rock with Koch Records. Maybe in another world when Jim Jones wasn't as goal oriented, that would have never happened. He would have never actually got the opportunity to rock with Koch if he just played the sidelines. You know what I mean? Like other rappers that we've seen, who have kind of sat around and waited for record deals. If anybody has any question in regard to the topics, y'all can send those in right now. We were talking about a couple different topics. 50 Cent actually posting Little Meech's message. And we was also talking about Jim Jones talking about Diddy, getting kind of got called out. You know what I'm saying? He got called out based on, giving his opinion. A lot of people in the hip hop industry sided with him. Close friends of him sided with him. We saw Jewels, Mano both stick up for him. There were some others as well that I didn't read. And there were others that disagreed with him that I didn't read. Some people in there saying, oh, I love Diddy. I love Diddy, but I'm taking that $1 million. Bro, first of all, there was one dude who made a comment in there about, like that. And it's like, man, like, miss me with that shit, bro. You need Diddy to save your whole entertainment business. You need Diddy to save your whole entertainment company, in certain cases. Diddy has taken artists that were floundering, artists that were on the mixtape spectrum. He took artists from the mixtape spectrum and made them bona fide celebrities. Diddy took Rick Ross and made him just about as close to big as you could get when I'm talking about superstar level. He made Rick Ross a superstar. He put him on 50 cents level, even though the man sold $1.50. The man sold 150,000 units a week, and he made him the biggest thing out. He really did. He put Rick Ross on Jimmy Fallon. He put Rick Ross on television. You know what I'm saying? He really gave it his all. He really gave it his all with Rick Ross, and he made him a bona fide celebrity. And then him and Ross came together, and they made French Montana a bona fide celebrity. Obviously, you can't give them all the credit because French worked his ass off to make it there. You know what I mean? French worked his ass off from day one to find a way into the industry. French worked his ass off. And he found it. All those mixtape DJs didn't want to put, yo, Put the French Montana record up there, baby. I got the feature with Maserati 5. Bro, I'm just asking you to put it at track number 23, man. There's like 27 tracks. Maybe give me track 27, 23, baby. Got Fox on there. Then shit got different. French got popping with Cocaine City. You know what I mean? French got popping with Cocaine City. He didn't really need them. He started doing crazy numbers on his own. But I'm sure there was also some mixing of brand relationships as well. Just keeping it real, y'all. I'm just keeping it real. It's like, yo, take the $1 million and go have fun on Koch Records. Take the $1 million and go have fun on a record label that's not going to promote you right. I'd rather take the opportunity to build a relationship. You know what I mean? I think that there is places that Mikey T, the movie star, could go. You know what I mean? And I think Revolt needs to start taking a recognition before they be passing judgment on bloggers. I think Revolt needs to take a little bit of a recommendation before they pass judgment on bloggers when their number one host of their number one show is quoting that blogger's interview on the biggest show on Revolt. So how about that? How about that, Revolt? Revolt wants to try and say shit about Mikey T, the movie star. The biggest show on Revolt is quoting my interviews. The biggest show on Revolt is quoting my interviews. You know me, the little guy on the spectrum? Oh yeah, not so little no more. Not so little no more. We got the number one bloggers in the game. Number one bloggers in the game. And that shit's real too. That shit's real too. I appreciate it though. I just think Revolt needs to get their shit right. You know what I mean? Before they pass judgment on bloggers, they need to realize how much the bloggers are affecting the culture. Yeah, and I might do a whole episode on that too, because that's kind of got me tight. And I might go over every aspect of my interview that was used. That shit kind of got me tight. I ain't even tripping. I ain't even really tripping. You know what I mean? I really appreciate Nori for doing the like quoting some of my lines in the interview that he did with Hot Boy Turk. I appreciate that shit. But what I don't appreciate is when people at Revolt are trying to take shots at Mikey T, the movie star, in their offices, and they're saying some bullshit about Mikey T, the movie star, a blogger in his basement. This doesn't seem like a basement to me. This is one of several rooms in a fucking $500,000 house. Doesn't seem like a basement to me. But my lines from my interviews are getting quoted on your television station. Okay. And who said Hot Boy Turk had the best interview on Drink Champs? Kevin Hart, the number one actor in Hollywood right now. So you can't say shit. You can't say shit about Hot Boy Turk. You can't say shit about Hot Boy Turk's interview on Drink Champs no more, because the number one actor in Hollywood said it was a hit. The number one actor in Hollywood said that Hot Boy Turk's interview was right by Kanye West. That's Ye. That's the $1 billion man. I'm just pointing a couple things out there. Salute to my brother, 10 Toes Down. Yo, 10. Hit that link if you're tapped in. I wanted to ask you this question, 10. Okay, I seen 10. I wanted to ask you this question, 10. Let me think. Let me think. Hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button right now if you're supporting this shit. Get my shit lit up. What Gillie say about Jim Jones? Rewind the video, bro. Shit's lit. We're about to get into the next portion of this video, though. We are about to get into the next portion of this video. Y'all stay tuned. 10 Toes Down is about to jump in. My guy Burton in the chat says, I would take the $1 million over Meech and Diddy. I always learn from their mistakes. Well, I'm going to ask you guys, who failed under P. Diddy? Who failed under P. Diddy? Come on, you can't really. Anybody that had a career with P. Diddy, he put them in a better position. You know what I mean? They all got an opportunity to get money at a higher spectrum and a higher level than they would have ever been able to get it. You know what I'm saying? Puff didn't have these guys dropping records. Puff didn't have these guys dropping records on independent labels. The only independent release I really remember Puff doing and attaching himself to was when Black Rob dropped the second album, the Hood Star album. You know what I mean? And I actually thought that was dope that Diddy kept himself attached to that album. I mean, he didn't put it out on a big label or anything like that. He didn't. I mean, it was Bad Boy, but he didn't put it out to a mass audience. I was able to get the album. You know what I mean? I was able to go to the store and purchase the album. But rest in peace to Black Rob. 10 Toes Down actually was running around with Black Rob as well. And they was getting money. You know what I mean? They was getting money. You know what I'm saying? They was actually getting money today. Damn. Of course my boy would run out the whip with my lighter and leave me with his bullshit ass later. Sauce Money and Puff? Sauce Money and Puff had a situation? I don't seem to remember that, bro. I don't seem to remember that. You know, I don't seem to remember Sauce Money having a relationship with Puff, to be honest with you. What did Sauce Money ever do with Puff Daddy, man? I mean, let's look at Cassie from Connecticut. She's from Connecticut. She's from my area. Would me and you have been as big? You know what I mean? Would me and you have been as big of a record if she wasn't attached to Bad Boy? If it didn't get put on all the proper channels? Like there's just a ton of artists you can go over, you know, different situations for. Red Cafe, who got brought in as a part of the Bad Boy 2.0 roster. You know what I mean? Red Cafe, he was dropping, you know, shit with DJ Envy on mixtapes before that. Diddy gave him the opportunity to excel, much like he did French Montana, you know? So you really can't tell me that, you guys. I sat here and witnessed it all. As much as we would like to say, oh, the bad boy curse, the bad boy curse. Okay. Well, if Diddy never picked up Red Cafe, he would have still been dropping on DJ Envy mixtapes. And we all eventually know what happened with that. You know what I mean? Envy ended up into podcasting and blogging with the Breakfast Club. Oh, no shit. Sauce goes all the way back with Puff like that. Respect the Sauce, man. I'm glad Sauce is good. You know what I mean? I'm glad Sauce is good. You know, a couple of my homies have actually had the chance to meet Sauce. You know, he's definitely a unorthodox. He's different. You know what I mean? Some of these guys stand out, you know, with the way that they act. You know what I mean? Some of these guys stand out with the way that they, you know what I'm saying? They record their music and shoot their videos. That's nuts, though. My guy Yrez says $1 million all day. Yrez is taking the $1 million. Well, Rez, let me know, dude. What do you actually do? You know what I'm saying? Do you you know what I'm saying? What do you actually do? Jim Jones was the type of guy that aspired to own a record label. You remember Bird Gang? Do you remember when he went on and had a conversation with the guys over at Sony and he got an executive A&R position? Yeah, all that came with a conversation. All that shit came with a conversation. And he probably could have got $1 million somewhere else after making Ballin'. I'm sure Koch would have given him $1 million, but that conversation with that record label got him of a budget. It got him to be able to open a budget up to a couple of $1 million. Yeah, looks like we got a couple different special guests tapping in. Let's just give some people some time though. Let's give people some time though. So Rez, I've met multiple artists who have gotten budgets from labels, and we've witnessed it in the game. Artists who have gotten budgets from independents, and then they're never able to do anything with those budgets. You know what I mean? We see artists, they get $1 million and they just don't know how to work their own career. Sometimes you actually need to actually have that person in the right position to put you on. Never mind just getting a quick million. I was talking with one of my boys about it today. He was like, "Yo, so I get the million. I'm gonna take 100,000, and I'm gonna put that into the first wave of promotion." And I'm just like, Jesus. I'm like, that deal. I mean, I could see every pretty much everybody who got $1 million would do that. They were like, "Yo, I'm gonna put 100,000 in, and I'm just gonna see if I can keep the other 900,000, or I can keep the other 700,000 because I got to pay taxes or whatever. I'm gonna see if I can push myself off 100K. But what's 100K gonna get you, man? 100K, as we all know, ain't even gonna get you little baby. 100K is going to do a few things for you. I could list a few things out. Benny the Butcher. Yeah, Benny the Butcher is one of my favorite artists, man. You know what I mean? Benny the Butcher is one of my favorite artists. You know what I'm saying? And I want to see what happens with him with the whole Def Jam situation. You know what I mean? I want to see if they actually get the ability to release this record that the people have speculated on with Drake. That's right, you guys. Benny the Butcher and Drake, the speculation. I don't know. Maybe it was just that little freestyle, or maybe it's going to be released something more theatrically. You know what I mean? Maybe it's going to be something bigger. We'll have to wait and see, though, man. It's really annoying playing the waiting game. I'll tell you that much. It's really annoying playing the waiting game. You know what I mean? It's like waiting on Def Jam. We're waiting on you, Def Jam. But you know what? We were waiting on Def Jam with Little Dirk, and then we saw what they ultimately put out. We ultimately saw what they put out with Little Dirk. flipping him with Jeremiah. You know what I mean? Flipping him with Jeremiah. I mean, that didn't do too bad. Like I said, 28,000 first week. Those were very similar to King Von's Welcome to O-Block album, 27,000 first week. So on their first albums, I mean, that is a decent amount to push. You know, and I sound really crazy saying 28,000 is a decent amount to push because we had other people come out and sell, like, you know what I mean? 400,000 plus on their debut album, like a Drake. And that was an EP. So it's really kind of hard to actually say that, you know, but that's just the truth of the matter. The fact that King Von moved 27,000 units, that said, King Von would never have to turn back to the streets again, you guys. In reality, that said, King Von found his bridge. You know what I mean? He was never going to have to turn back to the lifestyle that he had once lived before. He was going to be able to sustain off of music for the rest of his life based on selling those 27,000 units right there. It shows you that there's enough there to build on, as Little Durk has now. And look at Little Durk. Look at Little Durk. He's the number one artist pretty much in the game when it comes to mainstream. Aside from Drake, you guys, let's not go there. You know, aside from Drake and shit, we're not going there. That's like the superstar level. I'm talking about the biggest artist in the game, you guys. Shantae says the million. She's taking the million too. Can't blame her. Everybody put it up in here. What up, what up, what up, Fayetteville? North Carolina, appreciate you tapping in. I'm just saying, Rez, as a musician, you should take that opportunity. But you know what, man? There's a lot of artists out there who just care about getting that buck. You know what I mean? A lot of artists aren't actually in the position that Jim Jones is in right now, where he could not so much worry about $1 million. It's like, got like 8 of those. Got like 8 of those in the bank. I think I'm going to take the conversation with Diddy this time. I'm going to figure out how to flip the 8 to 40. I'm going to multiply my shit by 5. I'm going to take my shit to the next level. How about I take this conversation with Diddy right now? I mean, I got the conversation with Rock Nation. I got something bubbling with Rock Nation. I'm not sure if that's really with just management or whatever Jim is doing. But imagine getting a situation going with Bad Boy. Jim Jones on Bad Boy Records. Let me think. Has it ever worked before? Has it ever worked before? Because right now it would have to be the Lobby Boys signing to Bad Boy. And it seemed to me that Birdman had taken a little bit of interest in Murda and Mano. Seemed like he did, just judging from the social media posts. So I'm just wondering, you guys in the chat, has Diddy ever taken on a duo like that? A gangsta duo? Well, he did have the Locks back in the day. You know what I mean? He did have the Locks back in the day, and he did have Black Rob and G Depp, who actually, you know, were very tight. They were very tight. So I'm just saying the Lobby Boys need to take that next step. I believe they will. I believe the Lobby Boys will take that next step because the new album is dope. I want to see where their next one lands. Hope they're working on it. Funny enough, Diddy actually responded to this. Diddy responded to this. He said, I would take the million. Diddy said, I would take the million. I ain't gonna lie. Diddy's just kind of playing on the humor that we all kind of use against him. You know what I mean? Everybody's like, oh, Diddy does this, Diddy does that. Diddy comes in, I would take the money. Ha ha ha. It's called sarcasm, you guys. It's called playing dumb. It's called addressing your competition. You think Diddy wants more competition? Jay-Z was shook of Nas, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z worrying about Nas. You think dudes know what the 20-year outcome is going to be? Nobody wants to lose their position at the top, y'all. Gillie the Kid It's funny enough, Gillie and Diddy actually agreed on this because Gillie's like, dude, you're tripping. Take the cash, Jimmy. And I mean, Gillie is known for giving out games. So it's called $1 million worth of game too, ironically. So it's kind of like, it's kind of like, Gil, come on, man. Sometimes you got to take the game over the cash. There's mad let me bring up another point. There's mad millionaires out there who just don't see Gillie's videos. They don't There's mad millionaires out there who didn't get the opportunity to see all of Gillie's $1 million worth of game clips back in 2012 that he was doing on Instagram, and he was giving out all that knowledge. There's mad millionaires who are just busy, who are just not following people at that point in time on Instagram and miss the message. You get what I'm trying to say here? So so dudes is missing the message, man. It's all about giving the message, man. He had that's a good point, Neighborhood All-Star. He had the Boys in the Hood, but that's not a duo. And also that is a group out of Atlanta and the South. Not sure. Maybe some of the guys were from Florida or something. Were they all from Atlanta? You know what I mean? Yeah, I remember Boys in the Hood. Young Jeezy was actually in Boys in the Hood at first. That's kind of crazy how Jeezy got out of that album deal. Jeezy actually got out of that album deal and was able to be replaced. Was he replaced by Jody Fresh? Was he replaced actually by Jody Fresh? I don't want to look it up. I'm just doing that based on memory. Very shocking to me that he was able to just get up out of that deal. They must have not had them signed for a sequel album. It must have been a situation like when Ja Rule blew up, yet he was still signed with the Cash Money Click, O1 and Chris Black. It must have been a situation like that, in my opinion, you guys, if y'all can remember back to that situation. What will it do now? Come on, man. What will it do now? His situation, what will it do now? That guys, there's just so many different pieces to the puzzle that Jim Jones and Diddy can put together that we just really can't. You know what I mean? And I honestly think Jim Jones is talking about a prior time. You know what I mean? I think Jim Jones is talking about back in the day. I think Jim Jones is talking about, when he was on the come up and shit like that. You know what I mean? I mean, shit, look what materialized. Mace was Jim Jones' boy too. You know what I mean? I think they all went to Jim Jones's crib. They would all hang out there. They'd all be plotting their plans and shit like that, getting lit. Look what happened when Mace went and had a conversation with Diddy. Y'all are bugging. Y'all are bugging. You say I'm bugging? Y'all are bugging. Look what happened when Mace went and had a conversation with Diddy. He never came home. The man never came home. Hot Rod, God bless him. Hot Rod had a conversation with 50 Cent. 50 Cent told him to go to the nearest jet. He said, I got to go home and pack some clothes. He said, don't worry about it. We're going to address your whole outfit, your G unit now. Come on, man. Come on, man. Mace got the call from Diddy, got the meeting with Diddy, and never went home. Are we forgetting that aspect? Are we forgetting that aspect of the conversation? Oh, yeah. Looks like our guest is about to be tapping in. Looks like our guest, I don't know nothing about the publishing, to be honest with you, man. I don't know nothing about the publishing. I haven't really read much about it, to be honest with you. You guys have seen I haven't really done any stories about it. I know what I know about Mace's career as much as the fans know from the releases of the albums. Because I'm smoking on that good, man. Oh, y'all want to see the loud that I'm smoking on? Let me show you some of this loud that I'm smoking on. Hang on. How am I looking out here? How am I looking out here, you guys? How am I looking out here, you guys? How am I looking out here, y'all? I'm about to get joined by a special guest in here. I was just talking to my guy Milk. Looks like Milk is about to join me in here so we could have a conversation. I'm just trying to let him get situated if he's going to tap in tonight. Definitely appreciate it if he does. Shit, yo. Who the hell wouldn't want to be signed to Diddy? I mean, look at his latest artist. He let Machine Gun Kelly do everything he wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? And he never turned his back on Machine Gun Kelly. I respect the hell out of that. Like, come on, man. There's still artists thriving from that situation. There's still artists thriving from that Bad Boy 2.0 situation, you guys. Honestly, look at what's happening with French Montana, one of the biggest artists in the world. Machine Gun Kelly done switched genres. You know what I mean? Red Cafe got a second life. Cassie got an opportunity, you know what I mean, to actually showcase herself, but her and Diddy actually ended up, I guess, I'm not really sure what happened with them, to be honest with you. Sometimes you should just focus on the music because Cassie had a really big first single to be a part of that run. That Me and You shit was a hit. You know what I mean? Diddy was like finally moving on from a group, from all those girl groups he had from like Dream back in the day. You know what I mean? To you know what I'm saying? Shit, but also earlier than that, you know what I mean? Goes back to Total. You know what I mean? Diddy having all these groups and shit. Who else did he have? Danity Kane. And that's what I'm saying. When they were with Diddy, they reached their height. They reached their height. Diddy put these people out in front of a world, a circuit that would have never got the understanding of them. If Black Rob would have dropped like Whoa, uh, I don't know I don't think it would have got the chance that it got without Diddy. You know what I mean? Maybe this day and era, maybe this day and age, if Black Rob Whoa drops on us, had dropped on, you know, the internet and shit, it would go viral. You know, look at all the other artists, man. All the other artists, man, uh, that got put on by Diddy that had an opportunity to showcase themselves to the world. He put Mace in the biggest light. He had all the Dipset guys thinking he was rich when Mace says he really wasn't. Everyone assumed that he had money. Everybody just pretty much assumed that he had money when he really didn't because Diddy made it look that good. He didn't go the grimy route with Mace, like the MOP route, the CNN route. You know what I mean? The Mob Deep route, the Children of the Corn route. He went the clean cut image way with him. He made him a pretty boy, you guys. He made him a pretty boy. I already named two artists, man, that are big right now off of Diddy, and that's French Montana and that's Machine Gun Kelly. Still two of the biggest artists right now. And like I said, Machine Gun Kelly flipped genres. He actually flipped genres, man. Yo, Twiz, you home? Oh, word? Yo, I'm live right now, bro. So let me holler at you later. No worries, my brother Twiz. All right, that's my guy right there, SV Twiz. That's my bro. He'll be tapping in pretty soon on another podcast. We was just chopping it up this week about a couple different things. You know, if Twiz is the Philly connection. I really wish we could have had him tap in on this, actually. That would have been interesting, you know, to see all these different people. Gillie checking in, Gillie checking the situation. Mano sticking up for Jim Jones. Lobby, you know what I mean? Joel Santana sticking up for Jim Jones. So not everybody on the internet is thinking this man is crazy. Not everybody on the come on, bro. All right. So if you want to send in any questions, man, it's gonna have to be a super chat, to be honest with you. Ross got big off Diddy too. Yep. Ciroc blew up. Yep. My guy in there, Sep, speaking on that knowledge. Yep. Ciroc blew up. Everybody thought Diddy was crazy. Huh? Admit it. Admit it. Everybody thought Diddy was crazy. What are you doing, man? Liquor? That shit failed with everybody else. Nobody's liquor had any longevity. Nobody's shit was lasting. Nobody wants to drink. Nobody wants to drink Armadale, Diddy. Who do you think you are? And now look at Ciroc. Now, keep saying those same things about De Leon. Keep saying those same things about De Leon. You know what I'm saying? Keep saying those same things about De Leon too, you guys, because you're going to breathe it right into another level of life. You're going to breathe Diddy's new tequila into another level of life. You know, Diddy came on managing Rick Ross, and he proved he's the best manager in the game. You know what I'm saying? But shit, we've seen Rock Nation do some amazing things. When Diddy obviously has an opportunity to take a focus on an artist, he obviously can do amazing things. So the Ross situation was a little different. Like I said, Diddy did everything he could do to put Ross in an iconic image, just like Biggie. He did everything he could do to put him on an icon, because I look at it like after Biggie and Pac, 50 Cent came and made the gangsta shit corporate. You know, that's how I really look at it, to be 100% with y'all. He came in and he corporate hip hop. He made it some corporate ass shit. But right now, with how artists are actually getting $50,000, $60,000 just for one night, it's just totally changed. The whole spectrum of the music industry has changed. If an artist really gets focused and has his head on his shoulders, he'll be out and out of any type of level of existence he could have never dreamed, into a level of existence he could have never dreamed of. The money as is just so much bigger at this point in time. Back in the day, we were talking about Dipset getting paid like $13,000, $14,000, $15,000. These guys have quadrupled that, and it's still just a night's work. It's massive money, you guys. It's massive money in the hip hop industry. But yeah, man, Diddy's artist, man, let's be real. Would Denny Kane have gone platinum if it wasn't for Diddy? Hmm. Huh? Would Special Delivery have been as big if it wasn't for Diddy? Huh? No. Hell, would Mace have been as big if it wasn't for Diddy? As much as I love I used to sell Morphine for More Green by Mace. As much as I love Murder Mace, believe me, that is my favorite incarnation of Mace, you guys. Cross my heart, everything. You know what I'm saying? Did I do the right side? But but that is my favorite incarnation of Mace, without a doubt. But in reality, you guys, in reality, would he have been as big without Puff? No, he wouldn't have. He wouldn't have. He would not have. Cameron even left his route. Cameron left his route of mainstream to fall back and create a label to create opportunity. That's how it looked, in my opinion. That's how I kind of viewed it, and that's how I kind of seen it played out. Wasn't really sure what he was doing at first. I'm like, dude, you kind of already got the mainstream's attention. Why are you doubling back? And it enabled him to release so many different things and drop so many projects. He had that 50 Cent mindset. These guys have these mindsets of building. That's why meetings are so important. That's why Jim Jones' meeting after he had that Ballin' record on Koch, those meetings were so important. I'm sure everybody was offering him $1 million back then. And I'm sure he took meetings before accepting the millions of dollars, you guys. I'm quite sure of that. Hey, we got $1 million for you. Oh, shit, sign me up. How about let's take the meeting with this guy? And you know what I'm saying? Oh, this guy over here says he did that, XYZ. You know what I mean? Like, let's cross our T's, and dot our I's. Let's be realistic. Let's be realistic about this, man. Let's be realistic about this shit, man. But yeah. Damn, where's my hold on, where's my damn drink is gone. Definitely appreciate everybody tapping in on this podcast tonight. Making the Band. People want to talk about Making the Band. I just pretty much listed it. You know what I mean? I just pretty much listed it with Making the Band. I mean, in all honesty, a lot of the guys from the band, I believe that was the first one, right? That was Making the Band 2. We wouldn't know all the dudes. We wouldn't know Dylon. Dave Chappelle would have had nobody to make fun of. Like, let's be real, man. Come on. Like, let's just be real, man. Diddy gave us a classic. Like, Making the Band is almost as classic as, like, it's almost as, it's remembered as much as G Unit is remembered. People are always to this day, yo, I like the new Making the Band, but could you do a hip hop one again, man? I really loved that hip hop one that you did. With all the guys on there, Chopper and Fred. Shout out to Fred. You know what I mean? All the guys on there, Dylon, going crazy and shit. Can you do another one with all the guys on it? Dude, people have been asking for a new Making the Band for 20 years. People have not forgot Making the Band for 20 years. You know what I mean? So let's be 100% real about this. Don't just, Mikey T's bugging because he said Making the Band is as known as G Unit. It is, pretty much. Making the Band is, they only sold like 240,000 units their first week. G Unit sold 356,000. Oh yeah, but no, people don't ask for new Flavor shows, bro. They don't ask for a new flavor, whatever the hell the show's Flavor of Love. They don't ask for a new Flavor of Love, but they're always asking for Diddy. They're like, damn, Diddy, could you just go back? Could you just go back, Diddy, and actually do another Making the Band? I mean, you're still the same guy. You know what I mean? You're still the same old Diddy. You know what I mean? Can you do one? But we've gotten a few shows that are kind of like Making the Band, but I'm really just not intrigued. You know what I mean? I'm really just not all that intrigued because you really need like 50 had done a show. What was it called? The Money, Power, and Respect show or something like that. I don't think that was much about rap though, if I can remember. I think that was more, was he looking for an assistant or something like that? Can't really remember. But But yeah, the whole situation with Diddy just making the band, man, it was just classic. You know what I mean? It's just another piece of his career that was classic. Just came back and did the Bad Boys for Life video. You know what I mean? Just like when he did that, and he actually had Ben Stiller in the music video and shit, and he changed his name to P. Diddy. You know what I mean? Diddy has created a lot of career moments for himself. I don't believe Mario Winans drop his album on Bad Boy? I don't recall if that album actually dropped on Bad Boy. It was a feature. It was a feature that Diddy actually did, and it was a dope song. So if anybody, you really can't even question that. Like, please, let's not question Mario Winans. I don't want to know, because that is one of the dopest songs in the history of music. Point blank, period. You know what I'm saying? If you know anything about love music, love songs, breakup records, and shit like that, that is one of the classic ones. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, not my favorite, not my favorite, but that's just because of the concept of it and all that. It's like he's, you know what I'm saying? The concept, he doesn't want to know if she's cheating, just keep it on the low. It's like, oh, come on, dude. You don't want to know? Miss me with that shit. You're gonna have to let me know so I can end this shit ASAP. I don't want to know. You think I want to run around not knowing what the hell's going on? What do you think? What do you think? I'm gonna run around not going, knowing what's going on with my record deal? Like, what's going on? I'm signed to Bad Boy. I don't know what's going on. No, that's not how I would do it. You know what I mean? Kid actually explained this to me in an interview. Kid was like, yo, Mikey T. He's like, yo, Mikey T. G Unit members probably didn't know all the ins and outs of each other's deals. I would have to assume that's the right. You know what I mean? I would have to assume that's right. You know what I mean? Appreciate everybody tap in. Anybody got any questions right now? Anybody got any questions right now? Holla at me if you do. Holla at me if you got any questions. I'm going to give y'all a minute to ask whatever y'all want to ask up in there. Yo, some of these rappers, man, some of these rappers, I Need a Girl was their best record. Some of these rappers, I Need a Girl was their biggest record. They probably were fighting to be on the chance to be on I Need a Girl Part 2. They were probably saying, Diddy, can we please make I Need a Girl Part 3? Diddy was like, yo, you need to reel it in, man. I don't need everybody out there thinking like I need a girl that bad, bro. Like, chill out, man. It's Puff. You know what I'm saying? Chill out, man. Um, but yeah, so I shut that talk down about Mario Winans. If you're playing me, keep it on the low. You know, I'm shutting that talk down right now. That was a major hit record. If Puff Daddy would have never put that shit out, if Puff Daddy would have never put his verse on that shit, you know what I mean? That shit really wouldn't have been as big as it actually was. I mean, Mace could have put some shit on there. Mace could have put some shit on there, but he, you know what I mean? He decided that he wanted to be a pastor. You know what I mean? Mace decided that he didn't want to do the music industry shit no more. Mace could have put a verse on I Don't Want to Know. He'd probably be like, Mace just gotta know. You know what I mean? He'd probably say some shit like that. I'm being real about it. Second here. Damn. Damn. All right. Chat's going lit tonight. Chat's going lit tonight. We're smoking on some good shit too. Smoking on some good shit too, you guys. This is some Oreo shit. Ooh, I like it. One of my guys in the chat said, without Bad Boy, without Bad Boy, music is missing a lot. Without Bad Boy, music is missing a lot. And they're actually saying, hold on, they're actually saying that there's going to be a versus. So I'm about to change the poll question. I probably should have did this a minute ago, but I'm about to change the poll question. All right, you guys. I'm putting it up right now. Who would win? Who would win in a versus? I'm putting it up. Who would win in a versus? Who would win in a versus, y'all? Okay, let's see. Okay, vote in the poll right now, y'all. I'm about to roll something up. I actually hope this really happens, man. I was actually talking about it a few months ago on the podcast, and the prospect of a so-so death, led by Jermaine Dupri, Bad Boy with Diddy, man, just the prospect of this is just going to be a really great show. You know what I mean? Not sure if it's going to happen on the Versus platform. We'll have to wait and see. I just saw a little bit of speculation about it, so expect me to be talking about it on a few lives. If I get a couple guests in and shit like that, I'll be asking them about it. Damn, yo, this shit that I'm rolling up, you guys, I got some of the best gas right now on deck. You know, I smoke better gas than your favorite rapper. You know I smoke better gas than your favorite rapper. I it's all good. You know what I'm saying? You could be cool with that. You know what I mean? You could be listening to your favorite rapper, jamming out. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to know they ain't gonna smoke the way Mikey T smokes. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, this shit ain't dispensary. This shit ain't dispensary either. Actually, it is dispensary. Yeah, it actually is dispensary quality. Bad Boy only because of Big. You know, Big is a big part of Bad Boy, obviously. You know, the things that Big was going to do before his passing. I mean, the double album, you know what I'm saying? The fact that he was setting up a whole different record label, the fact that he was building relationships with the Locks and with Dipset. You know what I mean? The fact that he was actually going to put Puff on as an artist as well. You know, Biggie was writing for Puff. Biggie was actually inspiring Puff to rap. He was giving him some of the confidence to rap. You know, Biggie had his hands in so many different things. You know what I mean? So the amount of projects that Big was going to be doing was just going to be crazy. To have seen him really to see him really have had the opportunity to see him to really have had the opportunity to help mold the careers of Jadakiss and Cameron, I really think that would have been crazy. Alright, it looks like we're gonna be joined by Milk in just a few minutes. He's grooving a blunt. He's getting an L ready right now. I'm gonna get Milk's perspective on this, man. Because you know Milk is a big ticket blogger. Milk is a big blogger, y'all. Milk actually is on his way to 100,000 subscribers, y'all. So, in all honesty, Milk is on his way to making major money in the entertainment industry just off of his voice alone. So, I'm going to get the question from Milk answered because there's a lot of bloggers out there. One blogger I read, he said, yo. He said, Omni and Hellcat said, I love Diddy, but I'm taking the $1 million. Now, Milk, his career is on the cusp of doing major things. I want to know, would Milk rather have a conversation with Diddy? Would he rather step inside the bad boy offices and take a meeting with Diddy? Or is he going to take the $1 million and put it back into his brand? Does he want to put the money into his brand himself, or does he want the opportunity to rock with Puff Daddy? Like I said before, you guys, Mace got that call from Diddy, and he never looked back. Ended up signing multi-million-dollar deals. So are we going to take the fast dough or are we going to take the slow dough? That's what I'm going to figure out tonight with Milk. That's right. We got Milk tapping in. So make sure you share this video. Who would win a versus? Bad Boy So Def. Looking like 70% of the people in here are saying Bad Boy. Looks like the majority of the people in here are saying Bad Boy, actually. I don't disagree. I don't disagree with that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, JD obviously has a voice. Is JD going to get Jay-Z to come out and do Money Ain't a Thing, though? You know what I mean? Is he really going to do that? Is Jay-Z going to do that and ride on his brother's label? Is he really going to ride on his brother Big's label? Because if he does that, I'm just being real. If Jay does that and gives JD that cosign, that right there is going to be a major point for So Def. It's going to be a major point for So Def. It looks like Shine could possibly come back for the verses, though. I would love to see Shine come back and do a song or two. Shine coming back. Let me think. What would Shine do? Put it in the chat. What would Shine do if he came back for a song or two? Let's keep it to one. Let's keep it to one since we're talking 20 records. I mean, obviously, Shine would probably have to come back on 24 Hours to Live. I'm wondering, what do y'all think Shine would perform? Because you could say that's Gangsta. Bad Boys, obviously. Boom. Why would I even ask that question? It's Bad Boys, obviously. That's lit. Bad Boys. And maybe Diddy would actually perform his verse. And maybe Diddy can actually perform his verse. Because Shine had said that Mink's dragging on the flow. He said that was actually for Puff. Yeah, so I would like to see Shine return for it. Obviously, we're gonna have French Montana. G Dep is coming home. You know what I mean? G Dep is coming home. So if you want to do the rights by G Dep, go ahead and have G Dep come on the show. There's a lot of stuff Puff could do here. You know what I mean? Him and Mace need to hash out those problems. It's kind of crazy seeing those two go at it like that, man. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I mean? We've seen everything with Dipset and, Mace, but seeing Mace kind of go at it with Puff, it's just kind of like, dude, y'all was like the golden child back. Y'all was like the golden kids back in the day and shit like that. Well, can't nobody hold me down. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. All about the bent. You know what I'm saying? What's going on here, man? What's going on with you guys? You know what I'm saying? What's going on with you guys? I understand the whole thing with 50 and G Unit. You know what I mean? I get that, but you're still going at it with Puff even after he signed you off on that paperwork. Like, come on, man, it's too much, man. Kind of making yourself look crazy. And now we're looking back to the Cameron shit like, yo, bro, Cam was right. Cam was right, but now they're cool. They were both right in their own ways. You know what I mean? Like Mace was saying, they all kind of assumed certain things about him because he was running around with Puff. Sometimes those checks don't be clearing, apparently. You see? Yep. Jagged Edge will come through for So Death. Yep. G Dep, I don't think is home yet, you guys. They are asking for his release, though. From what it seems, they are asking from his release. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Them franchise boys, bro. Yep, they had a song or two. They had a song or two. Plus, it's like it's the Atlanta scene pretty much versus the New York scene. I mean, they're gonna have to bring Welcome to Atlanta out. They're gonna have to bring Ludacris and everybody out. You know what I mean for that. Actually, hold on, hold on. Welcome to Atlanta might not play on Jermaine Dupri's catalog. I think that's a Ludacris song, so it's a Disturbing the Peace. It's a Def Jam catalog. Yeah, so. But like I said, I'll be most shocked. What will be the most shocking thing to see is actually Jay-Z showing up for Jermaine Dupri. And that will be hard. That will be hard because if I remember correctly, Ja Rule thought Jay-Z was going to get on his album after the 50 Cent beef, and it never ended up happening. Ja Rule and Jay-Z had a great relationship going back, you know what I mean, to the early days. Even though in Ja Rule's book, he had said that he missed a recording session with Jay-Z, they had a good relationship. What has Bad Boy given us recently? Dude, what have they given us recently? French Montana, Machine Gun Kelly. Come on. Don't do that, bro. Don't do that, bro. Bad Boy is not necessarily in the position that Cash Money is. We'll see what happens though, because I bet Lil Wayne's got a couple more albums coming out in the very near future that I assume will drop on Cat. No, he's done with that, isn't he? He's done with that shit, isn't he? Zoe Dollars is dope. I actually got a chance to meet Zoe when I was in Florida. Frenchie is hot. Machine Gun Kelly is doing his thing. Frenchie is hot and Machine Gun Kelly is just on fire, dude. Like, no disrespect to Eminem. You know what I mean? No disrespect to Eminem, but Machine Gun Kelly's on fire. You know what I mean? His whole career took off. His whole career took off after the fact. Of because I'll be real. he had like 3 albums drop with Bad Boy that were rap albums, 4 albums actually. The first 3 did 50,000, and then the last joint that was an EP where he dissed Eminem, that shit did 24,000 units. It was an EP. He's changed his style and now he's moving over 100,000 units. Like he's doing really good. Like so there was no reason for him to turn back. I think he just did a I think he just did some hip hop music though, if I'm not mistaken. But like I said, I'm more tapped in with Machine Gun Kelly. No, I'll be real with you guys. I'm tapped in with Machine Gun Kelly on the hip hop shit too. I did an interview with Machine Gun Kelly, so I'm most certainly tapped in with him on the hip hop shit. He is good when it comes to hip hop, but it just so happens that his career really took off when he flopped or not flopped, flipped genres. You know, his rock career has really taken him to new levels of fame. You know what I mean? He's selling out shows. He's catching a little bit of flack from the other rockers, though. I don't know if y'all keep up with it really. But I saw a couple news briefs, because I'd be reading, all types of different magazines and shit like that, just to stay in tune with everything. And a lot of the other bands were actually giving him a hard time and shit like that, because he flipped genres. And then he carried over like his previous fan base to a bunch of new fans, like that Blink 182 style, that punk rock style and shit that he has. Most rappers are better rock artists. Pay attention to your compliments you get on your pitches. Most rappers are better rock artists. The let me tap into that. Um, the Little Wayne rock career. The Little Wayne with his rock career didn't really pan out. You know what I mean? It was a cool little passion project though. You know what I mean? To see Little Wayne release the Prom Queen record. It was a cool little passion project from Little Wayne that didn't necessarily get the reaction that I think he was expecting. Why is that? Why is that? Because Little Wayne, the Carter, sells 1,000,000 units first week, 900,000, 800,000, 500,000. It sells a big amount of units first week, you guys. So the point is, all these other projects like I can't feel my face or I'm not a human being or rebirth. All these other projects are gonna kind of look secondary to Little Wayne's Carter series. Kind of just like kind of just like kind of just like all of his albums are. And I'm just being real. You know what I mean? His first albums, especially the one where he tried to call it like 5,000 degrees, even though NBA Youngboy just made the 3,800 degrees. But now it's all of a sudden cool. I might have to talk with Hot Boy Turk about that. CM Brock says, I love that album from Wayne. I'm not going to lie. You're talking about the Rebirth album, bro? Or are you talking about the, oh, damn it. Or are you talking about the I Am Not a Human Being? I love the fact that they started releasing those as actual projects. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, this is Little Wayne. What are you going to do? You going to let him release this like he did Dedication? You're gonna let him release it like you know what I mean? You're gonna let him release it like he did all those other projects? Are you wild? Do you have no business sense? Let's be real, Lil Wayne's projects, like they're just too good not to release, and especially when they're different and quirky, when they're different and quirky like some of these projects were. They're not just the gangsta usual shit that we expect from Lil Wayne. That's what actually gives it an edge to attract more attention. Yeah. It's not like I'm doing the top Little Wayne albums list tonight, but I guess I sort of just gave it to you. So it looks like Bad Boys won 56% of the vote in the chat. If you guys haven't voted in the poll, if you guys haven't voted in the poll and vote in the poll right now. Um well, let's look at it, man. Kanye's first 3 albums, the styles were very similar, you know? The styles of the albums were very similar, to be honest with you. It was all a very accepted style. You know what I mean? It was all a very safe style. You know what I mean? And then he came out with 808s and Heartbreaks, which was him experimenting with singing. You know what I mean? So he officially changed it up. You know what I mean? He decided it was the course of no return. You know what I mean? It was the course of no return for Kanye West. He was he was destined to be an innovator from that point. No longer would Kanye West follow the regular protocols of having to make records that, you know what I mean? That basically he kind of like dumbs himself down for the a female audience or for a male audience. He's making records for everybody. And if you don't like the records, if you don't like the new Kanye sound, you know what I mean? If you don't like real music, if you don't like to sit down and listen to real music, which I think everybody does, and it doesn't matter which sex you are, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter if you're, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter either way. You like the music. The music needs to attract attention. When Kanye West started getting some performance appearances, and then he went on to do other things, you guys. But you know what? I'm not here talking about Kanye West's career. I'm not on here in full talking about Kanye West's career. We're not diving into that tonight. I think I've given you a little bit too much when it comes to Kanye's career and my thoughts on that. Um, I'm not aware of Lil Wayne's thoughts on being original to all the new copies. I haven't heard Lil Wayne actually talk about that. I really like the 808s and Heartbreaks album though. You know what I mean? I like the 808 and I after that I really wouldn't no, there's stuff after that that I do really like, but what I'm saying is to compare it to his first 3 albums, you know what I mean? It's just so different. To compare it to his first 3 albums, you know what I mean? Those were his commercially accepted albums. And honestly, 808s and Heartbreaks was kind of like his a very commercially. I'd like to go check out the sales for that, to be honest with you. I'd like to go check out the sales for that. I just can't remember off the top of my head what they were. First album sales was 414,000, 400,000, something like that for the college dropout. Then he did 800,000. Then he did 800,000 on the late registration album. Late registration like went past Tony Yayo's album like crazy, you guys. Tony Yayo dropped Thoughts of a Predicate Felon. A lot of people don't point this out, but Yayo's album actually did like 230, 215 that first week. Um Kanye's did 830. And then this is 2005. And then in 2007, it was September 11th release date. Remember, they did that to decide to honor the memory and actually get people in the stores shopping. You know what I'm saying? They did it to honor the memory, you know what I mean, of the World Trade and actually get people out there shopping in the stores again. And they did that. Kanye's album moved like 950,000 units. 50's album moved like 690,000 units. That is a lot. That what is that? Like 1.5 million, 1.6 million probably between the two of their projects. Very extremely impressive and motivating. Even though 50 was on the losing end of that, 50 was on the losing end of that, which was a shocker to many. 50 Cent himself, I think, included, having just come off the massacre, selling like 1.1 million. But you got to look at the history, man. Look at the history. 2 years before that, Kanye West moved 800,000. What are you expecting, man? 50 was probably expecting to move like 1.3 million or something like that. But in all honesty, how you gonna do that with amusement park? You're not doing that with amusement park. I'm sorry. You are not doing that with amusement park. Let's be 100% real. There's absolutely no way you're doing that shit with amusement park. And then he tried to double back and release Straight to the Bank. You kidding me right now? Then he doubled back and actually released the single. Or no. Then he tried to release the single with Justin Timberlake. I think he did I Get Money first, actually. That actually caught a wave and they dropped the album. And he drops Ayo Technology, which flops like crazy. It's like, come on, man. That's what you made with Justin Timberlake. You should have just, honestly, man. It's like saying they probably asked 50, hey, 50, what do you want? $1 million? Or do you want a song with Justin Timberlake? 50's smart, though. I want a song with Justin Timberlake. Are you kidding me? They probably said 50. Do you want $5 million? Or do you want a song with Justin Timberlake? Yo, yes, a song with Justin Timberlake. A song with Justin Timberlake. Give me that. But 50's song with Justin Timberlake really, you know what I mean? It really didn't go anywhere. It didn't. Why? Because it didn't cross any boundaries. You know what I mean? He didn't break any barriers working with Justin Timberlake. It was some cookie cutter shit. Yeah, Still Will is what they called it when they released it with Akon on an commercial level. They actually filmed a video for that. 50 and Akon filmed a video for it and they renamed it Still Will. I Still Will or something like that. Another failed single off of that album. It's like, wow, you have Akon on your album. You have who was the other one on his album, you guys? He had Robin Thicke on his album. They had the dude actually from Meet the Fockers, Meet the Parents. He's from a lot of other stuff too. I think it's Dustin Hoffman actually in the music video playing. Was it Dustin Hoffman? I'll go check it out afterwards. I'm pretty sure because it was a comedian. If 50 was acting with the comedian and they canned the music video, Jesus. And they canned the music video, you guys. I seriously can't believe it. I really can't believe it. Let me check out this poll. I'm about to end the poll. Everybody take your last second to vote in the poll. I'm going to give y'all another minute to vote in the poll. I'm going to give y'all another minute to vote in the poll and I'm about to end it. Wow, 51% for Bad Boy. I'm about to end the poll, y'all, so vote now. 51% for Bad Boy. That shit is crazy, y'all. Vote in the poll. I'm about to end it right now, y'all. I'm giving y'all 10 more seconds. All right, y'all. I'm about to end this poll. Looks like Bad Boy took the win. Bad Boy took the win on the poll, you guys. Bad Boy officially took the win on the poll, y'all. $50 is not feeling the game. He never liked him. Well, 50 most certainly is not feeling the game dissing Eminem. You know what I mean? Most certainly he's not feeling him dissing Eminem. It seems like they're just too busy, to be honest with you. You know, from what Tony Yayo was saying, from the recent posts are saying as well, with the Emmy wins, 50 Cent is just simply too busy to deal with petty shit. You know, we've seen what's happened in the past. Whack 100 has actually spoke on it. The game actually going to the nightclubs, conversing with 50 Cent in person, man to man, face to face, buying him bottles or just buying his bottles, drinking his bottles, showing respect to him. Doesn't mean that's going to lead to a G Unit reunion. You know what I mean? Especially when you get all upset and you have a hissy fit and do about 7 interviews where you're dissing everybody involved with the Super Bowl because you didn't participate. You know, when you didn't participate because you didn't have a song that made you worthy of participation. You hear what I'm saying? You didn't have a song that actually made you worthy of being a participant at the Super Bowl. If 50 Cent didn't have In the Club, he probably would not have performed. Hell, Get Rich or Die Trying probably would have tanked. And 50 would have been like Bishop Lamont. You know what I mean? 50 would have been an afterthought. But no, that's not the case. In the Club is a cultural phenomenon. Everybody and their mother remembers 50 Cent. They all remember 50 Cent upside down. Go, shorty. Popping up upside down for the first time. You remember 50 Cent? Oh, yeah, that's that dude for the first time he was upside down when I saw him. You know what I mean? Like that type of shit. And that's how when he popped up like that at the Super Bowl, that's why it meant that much more. You know what I mean? That's why it meant that much more, you guys, when he, excuse me, when he popped up at the Super Bowl like that, because it made everybody instantly remember the first time that they saw 50 Cent. He took us back to a place, wherever the hell you were, when you remember seeing 50 Cent for the first time. He captivated us. What would the game have done? In my opinion, you guys can put your opinion in the chat as well. What would the game have done at the Super Bowl? The game would have, at the end of In the Club, when all those people were in the room, all the dancers were in the room with 50 Cent, How We Do would have come on and the game would have started performing How We Do. But we obviously know that can't happen. We obviously know that can't happen, you guys, because of the fact that the game and 50 Cent are not going to be working together in the same room. I mean, shit, you're going to say, well, I mean, literally, I just said the game and the 50 Cent were in the same nightclub together, talking into each other's ear. Yo, can you hear me over the speaker? No, I can't really hear you, man, but you really don't seem like you're posing any problem with me right now. So I can tell your demeanor has changed a little bit. Okay, it's cool. It's cool. Can you hear what I'm saying? Nah, I can't, but it's cool. Yeah, it's cool, man. I see you bought a couple bottles of effing. You spent like $1,000 over here. You're not going to get the picture out of me like you did out of Lloyd Banks, but it's cool. You're not going to get me jumping up on stage with you when your music is playing like Young Buck did, but it's cool. Some people say Game would perform 300 bars. I highly doubt that. I don't think the game would be performing 300 bars, you guys, just to keep it a buck with you. If that doesn't even really make sense. So what, you're going to use your minute and 20 seconds to just spit a bunch of bars that's not going to connect with anybody? Come on, man. That's not what Game is doing. He's not doing that. Everybody else went up there and they connected with the audience. They had their own way of connecting with the audience, whether it was Snoop, Kendrick, Mary, you know what I'm saying? They all had their own way of connecting with the audience. So please, the whole moment that I created for the game, he was the launching pad based off of what 50 Cent did with In the Club. How We Do in reality, it is a B, like an A movie is In the Club. The B cut is How We Do. Sorry to say it. Sorry to say it, you guys. Hold on. Let's do a poll. Better song. Okay. I'm gonna actually have to put this poll up right now. So I need everybody to vote in the poll. Vote in the poll right now, you guys. I want to hear what everybody's got to say. I want to know, what do y'all think? Who has the bigger record? Vote in the poll right now, y'all. I'm giving everybody what they want with this one. There we go. There we go. Let me. Nope. Nope. We're going with it. Everybody vote in the poll. I want to know what's the better song. I want to know what's the better song right now. Because honestly, man, I'm calling it out. How We Do is kind of like a B-rated version of. It's not really. I'm sorry. It's an A rate. It's an A cut. How We Do is an A cut. It's an A hip hop cut. But in the sense of what 50 was doing, it was like B standard to In the Club. Everybody, put your answers up. I want to know. I want to know. I'm not Mario Winans. Don't play me on the low. I want to know what artist, what song is better. Vote in the poll right now. Don't bullshit me, you guys. Hit that like button while you're at it. Share this video with one person. You heard? Share this video with at least one person. Okay. Okay, so I need everybody to vote in that poll right now. Vote in that poll right now. Show some love. Show some love in the poll. Poll's up there right now, bro. Poll is up there right now. You should be able to see it. Everybody vote in the poll. What do you got? 50 Cent In the Club? You got the classic? You got the classic that sold 800,000 2 weeks in a row? You got the classic that sold 800,000 2 weeks in a row, you guys? Off Get Rich or Die Trying? Or do you got the record that propelled the game to sell 580,000 units? It made the game do 580,000 units in his first week on the documentary, y'all. No cap. Game had monumental numbers. Were they as big as 50's? No, they weren't. 800,000 2 weeks in a row for 50 Cent. Rizzo says, my guy says, How We Do is a banger, but come on, bro. Yeah, they're kind of different levels of record, in your opinion, when it comes to club records. What's your take? Demetrius says that's a hard one. Sep says in the club. Diva says I like how we do. I'll just be honest. Appreciate that. I appreciate that honesty because that's what I need. That's what I need with this because there's a lot of people out there saying, "Yo, Mikey T, the game should have been there performing." But in all honesty, the only way I could see the game performing is a latched on performance to 50 Cent, where he goes and does How We Do after in the club. That's the only way I could see it. Anybody else have any other ways in the chat of how they could have presented How We Do? Oh, let me guess. Let me guess. You're going to do How We Do on top of the courthouse or whatever. Come on, man. We ain't doing How We Do on top of a courthouse. No. No. That like doesn't even work when you flip the scenario like that. We ain't nobody fresh like you know what I mean? Just because you're fresh in court, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on. We ain't doing that one. We ain't doing that one. I'm not jacking that, just to be real with you guys. I ain't jacking the fresh like in court. I'm about to testify in my case like I ain't doing that one with you, game. About to testify bailiff, what's up? Gotta go to court, so I left it in the trunk. Gotta go to court, so I left it in the trunk. You know what I mean? Like, what? No, we're not flipping the record like that, man. Like, it's not even. That's why I say, like, the game didn't have he could have did dreams, but I don't know. You know what I mean? He could have did dreams. You know what I mean? From the top of the courthouse or whatever. That would have been more of an impactful look. You know what I mean? Or whatever he was trying to go with that whole thing with what he was saying. But How We Do, it's you know what I'm saying, too much like in the club. They're not just gonna run two records like that back to back. It's like about the history. It's about the history of the music. You don't need repeated cycles of the history. Come on, man. Anybody could see that. Come on, you don't need to take offense to that. Anybody could see that shit, man. You don't need to take offense to that shit, like to be 100% real, would you, man? If you're taking offense to that, you've already lost. You know what I mean? In this game, you got to have thick skin. I'm seeing things like, oh, Dr. Dre never gave the game a beat. The only way I could imagine that being truthful is if maybe Dr. Dre co-produced every song on the album with other producers. You know what I mean? The only way I could see that being truthful, and I didn't really do the research to go in and look at that, but I do remember some of the stuff that we've talked about in the past with Havoc actually producing Don't Need Your Love, and Havoc actually I believe got assisted by Dr. Dre on that from what I read on the credits. Now that could be something like the producer does the record and then Dr. Dre comes in and adds some touches to it, which I think is actually genius. You know what I mean? The fact that Dr. Dre is going to work with the game and then bring in all of these extra producers to actually work on the project. All of these producers, which the game would go on to make a relationship with. So a lot of them ended up working with him throughout his whole career. I think Dr. Dre was a genius. I think Dr. Dre did more things for you than you really give him credit for. Like, come on, man. Look what I just laid out right there. The fact that Dr. Dre gave you a look in the studio with all these producers made them want to work with you in the future. If anybody can't see that, they're just blind. That's how it works. That's how shit works in the industry, you guys. Hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button, y'all. Show some love to this video tonight. Show some love to this video tonight, y'all. How do you do that? Just hit the like button. Yeah, the Game's first solo album, and I'm not talking about Untold Story. The Game's first album that was supposed to be with Dr. Dre. The Game's first album that was supposed to be with Dr. Dre, you guys. That album was the NWA solo album. He was supposed to do the NWA album that, it's a group album, all the guys from NWA, but he is the solo embodiment of NWA. That's what he was first getting the people triggered on. That's what he was first getting the people jacked on. I want to know in the chat who remembers that. I'm going to give y'all a second. I'm going to give y'all a second in the chat. My bad. I got to go get a light. See. Let me see if I got any. Let me see if I got any response to that. God, nobody really is messing with how we do like that. How we do was banging in the car, you say. How we do was banging in the car, you say. Kenzo says how we do was better to me song wise. How about music video wise as well? You know what I mean? I think maybe they well not maybe they put more into the in the club video, whereas it seemed like the how we do video was more kind of like closed in. How we in the club had everybody in it from like Shady and all that exhibit. Sep echoes that it was a better car song than a club song. Truth. Mm. It's always good to point out different things, man. It's always good to point out different things. That's what the chat is for, man, to extend the conversation, really, to be honest with you, man. Just try to come respectful with it, because I like to read people's comments. But if you kind of come sideways and shit, kind of throws me off from, just being able to read the shit, adding to the conversation, really. That's what I like to do here on the channel. Oh shit, Sep says, how we do at California love aspects with the freaks in the cages dancing. Good point. Good point, man. Well, it was the California connection. It was the official California connection. We would see 50 have connections with, well, shit, Detroit, New York with Yayo and Banks, obviously, on both of their singles. The South with Young Buck, you know what I mean? So 50 really spread himself out a lot. Every single region 50 Cent touched. He was a genius. You know what I mean? Even though he didn't jump all over Young Buck's album, even though he didn't jump all over Young Buck's album like that, you know what I mean? He kind of let Young Buck do his thing. But 50 Cent had that representation in the South. Buck was really had an opportunity that was blown, in my opinion. You know, I think Young Buck had an opportunity to be just as big as Lil Wayne. That's just my opinion. Probably a lot of others as well. You know, Young Buck was being positioned as probably an artist that was, well, he was getting features from Young Jeezy. He was getting features from everybody. Snoop. He was getting features from Rick Ross. Hold on, no, not Rick Ross. Trick Daddy. You know what I mean? He was getting features from all the David Banner. He was getting features from all the realest dudes in the game, man. Young Buck really set it off, man, on his albums. He just couldn't find a lead single for his second album. Well, he wasn't given the opportunity. He wasn't given the opportunity to release his actual first single. We all know Young Buck had the single with Linkin Park that he was never able to really release. It didn't really feature both members of Linkin Park. It only featured the singer, Chester. Lil Scrappy actually released that Money in the Bank on his album, Born to Die, Born to Die, Bred to Win, I believe it was called. Yeah, I believe it was called Born to Die, Bred to Live. That released on his album. That was a joint project with Lil Jon and 50 Cent. And I thought that, honestly, to be real with you guys, I thought that they did a great job with Little Scrappy as far as the presentation. You know what I mean? They threw him with Young Buck. You know what I mean? They threw Scrappy with Young Buck, Money in the Bank. What was the next line? Shorty, what you drank? You know what I mean? Uh, and the record actually took off. You know what I mean? Should it have been maybe Young Buck's single for Buck the World? Yeah. I think they should have given Young Buck Money in the Bank and possibly featured Little Scrappy on it as the new artist from G Unit South. And let and and Jesus, come on. Could you let Little John be the president of G Unit South? Did you really need to be a genius to let Little John be the president of G Unit South? A man who was going nowhere with crunk music. Let him take on a new life. And you know what I'm saying? Now he has the Young Buck album. Now he has the Little Scrappy album that we could present on G Unit South. Like, let's be realistic about this, you guys. If only I could have been back there, you know what I mean? To speak a little bit of this sense into somebody's ear. Because come on, that would have been the genius move. You present Little Scrappy on Young Buck's first single, and then you drop Little Scrappy as an artist. That's the way it should have been. And then you could have dropped that Get Buck shit after Money in the Bank. Maybe people would have respected it a little bit more. I know they wanted to fast track it because it was produced by Polo or something like that, but it really just wasn't working for me, man. And honestly, you know what I'm saying? It just was not working for me, man. But Little Scrappy on G Unit South would have been lit. It just didn't really get going. You know what I mean? Kind of like when Freeway and Jay-Z and 50 Cent were supposed to do. There was a lot of projects that 50 Cent was getting his fingers in on. that didn't really materialize. You know what I'm saying? Shit, there's a lot of movies out there that get talked about for years and they don't materialize. It's just the nature of the business, you guys. It's really just the way things go sometimes. You can't be too turned off by it. You know what I'm saying? You can't let it detract you from being a fan. We've seen we've seen artists signed to several labels that we love, like whether it's Aftermath or G Unit Records or Murder Inc. Records or Rockefeller Records or any of these labels, Def Jam, even any of these labels we've seen artists sign or Epic, and they haven't. Some of the artists don't release albums, man. It's just the nature of the business. You know what I mean? If something doesn't end up getting hot, it doesn't get hot. How do you change that? Go out there and buy the single. Go out there and support the artist. Stream the music. Show interest if you want to make sure that those projects see a shelf. That's the way you change what's going on out there. You know what I'm saying? But there's only so much one person can do, right? That's what you're thinking. There's only don't have that mentality. Never have that mentality. One person can change everything, man. I'm not really sure about DT's role in G Unit South now. To be honest with you, I'm not sure that G Unit South exists right now. Is G Unit South and Cashville Records two different things now? Like, because now I'm confused. Now I'm confused, and now I don't really care. You know what I mean? I wasn't under the impression that G Unit South was ever back. After Young Buck made his departure from them, I remember Shorty Low rest in peace, Shorty Low getting an opportunity to siphon talent through G Unit, potentially as a G Unit South type of thing. So when Young Buck came back with the G Unit reunion, I was not under the impression that Young Buck had G Unit South at that point. I'm just saying that from my perspective. I was under the impression that G Unit South, Cashville Records was long gone. So I don't know that G Unit South still exists. But if DT wants to come on the channel and speak about G Unit South, he could definitely do that. I have no issue with having DT come on the channel. Let me see here. Let me see. Sep said 50 would have brought Lloyd or Eminem before he would get game for it. Infamous times Dre being in effect. What do you mean by 50 would have brought Lloyd or Eminem before he would get game? Oh, okay. I'm seeing. Well, Eminem allegedly is the one who said that. I don't remember seeing if Eminem actually said this. Maybe he did in an interview. I'm not sure if somebody asked him, you guys. If he did, I should have covered it. And that's my bad for not being more on top of stuff. If you guys can just hit that subscribe button, I'm going to stay on top of shit, y'all. But the thing about it is, I don't think 50 Cent had a choice. I don't think 50 Cent had a choice if he wanted to bring the guys. Sure, Lloyd Banks, Tony Yayo, they could have been in the green room. You know what I mean? I'm sure Yayo and Uncle Murda and the guys were probably there. You know what I mean? Enjoying the Super Bowl and all that. But when it comes to the halftime show, that's another story. You know what I mean? Halftime show is a very, very particular thing in our country's history. Number one. That's why the game is so upset about this. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, when it all goes and it's all said and done, that log of this Super Bowl, I mean, it's going down with the history of the world. And 50 Cent performed there with Dr. Dre, and Eminem performed, and Mary performed, and Snoop performed. and Kendrick performed. But who didn't perform? You know what I mean? He's not getting remembered in that history. That's why Game is so tight, so disappointed. You know what I mean? We've gone over it a few times on the channel. Whack 100 said some shit about, oh, I know when Game is disappointed. He's not disappointed. Game is not disappointed. And it's like, what? What are you talking about, man? You're bugging out. He wasn't disappointed. Dude, do you know how important? First of all, it's not even about the money. It's just about the acclaim. It's just about the fact that you were there. It proves that you were there. This is what I'm trying to stress. It proves that 50 Cent was here. You know what I mean? If nothing else does, that does. And let's face it, the movie career wasn't going to do it. I mean, BMF and Power and all that, you know what I'm saying? Kanan and all that, that shit has done it. Little Meech, Big Meech, that shit has done it. 50 is forever remembered with off that shit. You know what I mean? All the Nick Cage and the John Cusack, all those movies. Uh, fifth, fifth, big fan. You know what I mean? Big fan, but those movies weren't doing it, man. Those movies weren't doing it. But you got it now with the television shows. Everything has really shifted. You know what I mean? When it comes to TV, everything has really shifted with the acceptance of more long-term storytelling, more long-term programming, rather than it just being an hour and 90 minutes, 85 minutes, hour and 20 minutes in the theater. You know what I'm saying? Rather than being that, now it's more long-term formatted programming, 10-hour-long episodes. It's like 5 movies. It's like 5 movies, you guys. A lot of times, a lot of the movie would be getting left on the editing room floor, as we saw with, I believe it was Justice League, a movie trimmed down to like 2 hours, maybe less. A movie that was trimmed down that could have really been 4 hours and a half, something along those lines. I watched it as a 4-hour movie. It was genius compared to the 2-hour version. You know what I mean? So it was pretty genius. It was so genius, I actually thought it was a sequel till I realized they were doing all the same things. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Why is this guy introducing himself again? Why is Aquaman introducing himself again to people that already know he's Aquaman? So I was bugging out for a second, you guys. You guys should hear the story about the first time I saw Hostel. In the club. In the club. Yeah, y'all know, I know we got a lot of In the Club fans in here. Let me check the poll. We only got 16% of people, you guys. 16% of people in here voting for How We Do. I'm going to need y'all. I'm going to need y'all to vote right now if you haven't in the poll. Vote in the poll right now because In the Club is absolutely dominating. In the Club is absolutely dominating How We Do from the game. In the Club has 84% of the votes. So everybody that hasn't voted right now, I'm going to leave this poll up for about 5 more minutes. I want y'all to vote. Let your voice be heard. Let me know what you think. I want to know what y'all think and why. Right now, I'm going to give my opinion. I'm going to give my opinion. My opinion is that, you guys, my opinion is honestly that the better song is In the Club. The better song is In the Club, you guys. I got to go with In the Club, man. If we look at the sales, within 2 weeks, 50 had sold 1.6 million copies, maybe even 1.7. It might be 1.7, you guys. I may be mistaken. 1.7 million copies in 2 weeks. And he followed that up. He followed that up the next year. No, 2 years later. He followed that up 2 years later, 2005, excuse me, with the massacre. 1.1 in a short week. You know what I mean? 1.1 in a short week. He would never be able to follow up those sales again, though, truth be told. You know what I mean? Truth be told, he'd never be able to follow those sales up again, but he would never really have big singles again like that. I mean, I Get Money was actually a glorified mixtape single. Let's be real, guys. The mixtape singles started to take off the same way with the second G Unit album. They were no longer doing the blockbuster singles. With Beg for Mercy, with Beg for Mercy, they had Stunt 101, Poppin' Them Things, Wanna Get to Know You. These are blockbuster records. With Terminate on Sight, they went the same route as Curtis, I Get Money, Rider Part 2, records that were successful on the mixtape circuit. 1 second, y'all. Records. Yo, I need some aqua hydrate, Diddy. I need some aqua hydrate, Diddy. I'll be drinking that aqua hydrate. So yeah, they basically started using mixtape records to promote their albums. And they wonder why you can make whatever excuse you want. Make whatever excuse you want about why the sales started dwindling. Once you started releasing mixtape quality records, why wouldn't you expect the sales to start dwindling? On Beg for Mercy, you gave us classic after classic after classic. Hell, you even put Yayo on the classic, Groupie Love. You know what I'm saying? And then on TOS, first of all, you make us wait 5 years for it. How do you sell 350,000 in a week? How do you sell 350,000 in a week on Beg for Mercy and then take 5 years to release the follow-up G Unit album? I'll give it to you. I mean, shit. You should have had the follow-up G Unit album while the game was still in the camp. Let's be real. Because I know what the game plan was. The game plan was, no. Don't hit me with the music shifted. You're damn right the music shifted. The music shifted because the second G Unit album was supposed to feature not only Young Buck, but a returning Tony Yayo and the West Coast Connection, the game. That was supposed to be the second G Unit album. Let's be real. The music shifted and there was no game. There was no game on the second G Unit album. That means the interest for the second G Unit album, it was zilch. No, especially when they started beefing with Buck. It's like, wow, all the good shit is out the window for this album. And then they come out with the Piano Man. You think I give a damn if you're dissing T.I. on your album? I want to hear the next Poppin' Them Things. Let's be 100% real when we talk about this shit. You ain't coming to my channel and getting cap. I don't know what everybody else is talking about, but you're not getting that here. I actually know about the shit. Let me see what's going on with the poll. I'm going to leave this poll up for another 2 minutes, y'all. I want everybody to vote in the poll right now. Y'all got 2 more minutes to vote in the poll. I want to know in the club, or how we do. Right now, 82% vote in the poll. I'm giving y'all 2 more minutes to vote in the poll. 2 more minutes. Right now, 82% of the people in the chat say 50 Cent in the club. Everybody's rocking with me in the club. Get Rich or Die Trying. 800,000 first week. Come on. I can't even remember the second single off of Get Rich or Die Trying right now. I'm serious. I'm serious. Do I even need to remember the second single? I know they had a video for Heat. They had a video for Many Men. Then they released 21 Questions. You know what I'm saying? But it's all a blur because In the Club was the biggest shit. In the Club was the biggest shit. You know what I mean? 21 Question was good for the females. They actually did a music video where 50 Cent did the whole jail thing. So he kept his ties to his male fan base. You know what I mean? He was very smart about that. I thought that was a genius move with the concept that he used from the music video. It really showed a lot in 50 Cent, man. PIMP. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, my G. PIMP, actually another single. I think they actually released PIMP, and then they actually threw the DPG remix at the end of it, right? With Snoop Dogg. Was that on the original PIMP, or did they actually have its own PIMP? So yeah, he had a few singles off that album. You know what I mean? Then he also had the record Magic Stick Buzzin' with Little Kim and shit like that. So he had a lot of traction. He had a record with Missy Elliott Buzzin'. He was really, showing that he had versatility. You know what I mean? But the thing is, after that, y'all, after that, showing all this versatility, the fact that he could work with Snoop Dogg, the fact that he could work with Missy Elliott, you know what I mean? The fact that he could work with all these different artists, he actually kind of kept it more to the core of G Unit. You know what I mean? He used a lot of his own celebrity to help the other artists. You know what I mean? When in reality, I think he should have kept building all of his outside relationships as well, rather than trying to beef with Birdman and Lil Wayne and drag them into beef. Why not use them to help Young Buck? Why not use all these situations for the better of all of your artists? You know what I mean? Rather than starting beefs with everybody. I mean, there was only but so long that could actually last. You know what I mean? There was only but so long that could actually last, starting music or selling music, I should say, based on hip hop beef. There was just only so long that shit could last, you guys. East B says, Fifth put out a lot of music. He was bound to cool off. Look at the classic mixtapes and the albums. That's a realistic point as well. A lot of his material was, I don't want to call it burned out on the mixtape circuit, but a lot of his music actually was, a lot of his best music was on the mixtape circuit. You know what I mean? You look at the situation, a lot of his music was actually over a lot of other people's beats. So you got to kind of disqualify that from actually thinking it could be something of a charting effort. Of course, unless you take the lyrics and just rearrange it onto another beat. You know what I mean? Which I kind of wish 50 would have done a little bit more. I wish he would have went back. A lot of people would have thought that was lame as hell, though. I kind of wish 50 Cent went back, grabbed a lot of his reinvented hooks from the mixtape circuit and put them on his albums. Obviously, he really didn't need that with Get Rich or Die Trying because the music was so fresh and he was in his element. Maybe he didn't need it with the Massacre, but I think by the time we get to Curtis, or Before I Self Destruct, I think it's evident that it would have been dope if he would have tapped back into his mixtape material. Bro, we're not talking about Body Snatchers. Come on, dude. You know how far Body Snatchers is into the G Unit? Yayo had already been to jail and come home by then. Stop throwing off the podcast, bro. We're not talking about the Big Ten. Who the hell? We're not talking about the Big Ten. We're talking about classic 50 Cent hooks. I can't remember one hook off the Big Ten. Their 50 Cent changed his flow, man. East B says Candy Shop was the first bad move. They did that a lot. It was super whack. The fake songs back then with real lyrics. Sep, explain that a little bit more, bro. Yeah, but we're not talking about body snatchers, bro. That's way too far. Obviously, by the time Yayo got back out of jail again, they weren't still doing the commercial beats on the radio, bro. Come on, man. Come on, dude. I'm talking about back in the day when they were doing the commercial shit off the radio. We're not talking about the shit when the mixtape game changed. You know what I'm saying? We're not talking about that. The Big Ten. These albums, the War Angel, these mixtapes, they're glorified. They're albums, pretty much. They're street albums. Come on, bro. I thought you was rocking with me on that shit, man. Yeah. So that was crazy. I really do wish that 50 could have maybe tapped back into some of his, like shit like F and B friends. You know what I mean? Just take some of the dope ass way he would flip hooks and maneuver it into, some of his records. But I guess some of it was just too blatant. Some of it was just kind of blatant. All right, so let me see. Let me see right here. Let me see right here. I'm about to look at the poll. I'm about to see what's up with the poll, y'all. It looks like 80% say how we do. The game, oh no, excuse me. 80% say in the club. It looks like how we do rose up to 20% though. I'm gonna give y'all. I'm gonna give y'all about another minute to vote in the poll. I'm about to end the poll right now, you guys. For everybody in here, if you haven't voted in the poll, I'm about to end that shit right now. Just let me know what you got. 50 Cent in the club or the game. How we do. I'm doing a poll, man, because I'm sick of all the conversation and I want to put an end to it. I'm putting an end to the conversation right now, you guys. Putting an end to it. And it looks like this is a pretty definitive end when you got 120 with 20%. And that's the how we do record. So I'm going to go ahead and end this poll. I'm going to end this poll. Oh, it looks like we're getting some more votes. So I'm going to give it up for a second. Everybody vote in the poll right now. We just got another 5 votes. The game actually went up to 22%. The game actually went up to 22%, you guys. So I'm actually pretty shocked by that, to be 100 with you. So vote in the poll right now before I end it. And then we're going to go to some open questions. I always finish out the Mikey T, the Movie Star podcast with open questions. If anybody's wondering, damn, why is Mikey T going in on these album sale topics? I always like to interact with the chat. Put your questions in the chat, guys, and I'm going to answer them all. Whoever has questions, I'll answer a few. CM Brock says 50 started to sound like Ja. He should have stayed grimy. Candy Shop, Magic Stick, trying to be a sex symbol, SMH. Yeah, getting the opportunity, 50 was going from being able to be on the Double XL and the Source magazine to going to be on the GQ, going to be on an Entertainment Weekly magazine, going to be on so many different covers. You know what I mean? That's why 50 was really trying to make that transition So he really just wasn't looked at in a cliched role, bro. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when an actor gets involved with a film, he doesn't want to just keep getting caught up in the same type of role, whether it's, you know what I mean? Whether it's being caught up in that wholesome comedy role where you're the father figure, being caught up in that cop role where you're always playing a cop, being caught up in that gangster role where you're always playing a gangster. You know what I mean? It's really hard to break that mold sometimes. So 50 Cent actually doing that at the beginning of his career by embracing the likes of Little Kim, embracing the likes of Missy Elliott. You know what I mean? I think it really helped him in the long run. Sep asked, was the game signed to JT the Bigger Figure and Get Low Records before G Unit? Um, so this is the open questions portion, you guys. If anybody has some questions, you could send them in right now. I always do this at the end of the Mikey T the Movie Star podcast. Let me see here. I actually purchased that album that JT the Bigger Figure put out, man, and I actually met JT the Bigger Figure in Texas, Austin, South by Southwest. We chopped it up. He gave me some game. You know what I mean? He gave me some real pointers. You know what I mean? I was able to see what his movement was like. You know what I mean? The dude was out there in Austin, Texas, really lighting it up on another level. I was really impressed with what he was doing. I bought the album, as I said, the Untold Story album. I'm not really sure the situation that they had together. I would have to imagine that I know a lot of artists, they sign off to do projects with certain executive producers. You know what I mean? Uh DMX signed off to do that album. You know what I mean? That's not really regarded as a part of his catalog. I think it was what was it, the Undisputed album, you guys? We see a lot of different albums come up from artists on different labels, is what I'm saying. And I actually purchased the Untold Story album, you guys. I actually was one of the people who purchased that album, y'all. Yeah, yeah, yep. Memphis Bleak had a record label called Get Low Records. Sep, get me the bar. Try to get me the bar so I could read it. If you can get me that lyric, I'll actually read it on the live. So I would like to see what that lyric was. I seem to remember it. I seem to remember it, but yeah, just grab it up. Yes, definitely Shaq. Rest in peace, Jam Master Jay, an innovator, somebody who really, gave back to the culture by creating so many or giving so many talented people an opportunity to flourish. You know what I mean? This is the guy that, was around Fredro Starr and Onyx, Ja Rule, 50 Cent, Black Child, you know what I mean? So many different levels of talent around Jam Master Jay, you know what I mean? To have gotten the opportunity to meet that man, you know what I'm saying? To have the opportunity to get a conversation with him or just watch him at his work. Very impressive. Rest in peace, Jam Master Jay. Gone way too soon because he had so much more talent to find and so much more just to give, I'm sure, to, you know, his loved ones. You always got to put that in perspective because it's more important than music, you guys. It really is. It's more important than music at the end of the day. I love music. We love the factor of entertainment. We do. There's no doubt about that. But at the end of the day, there's things that are more important than the music. And I'm just being real. My guy said he didn't sell records after 2007. Let's analyze that. Was 2005 the last year that G Unit sold records? He didn't sell records after 2007. Let's see, 2007. After that came Terminate on Sight. After 2007, well, really in 2007, to be honest with you, because in 2007, Buck's album flopped. His album sold 691,000. So I see what you're saying there. I see what you're saying there because he would never sell records like that again. 2008, the Terminate on Sight album flops. And then after that, Lloyd Banks's third album comes out, 50,000. 50 Cent, Animal Ambition comes out, 50,000. So, yeah, they never sold records again. Sorry to say. But I will attribute that to the record industry changing. But there could have been a worthwhile Beg for Mercy follow up, you guys. That is without a doubt, and that is with the Game on it. And I just want to point out the fact that the Game missed out on a lot of money by not doing that album. You know, if this theoretical plan was around since he was working with Jim Jones, hey, I'm gonna diss 50 Cent. I'm gonna diss 50 Cent, you guys. After I get lit, I'm gonna diss 50 and I'm gonna flip the whole thing over on him just like he did with Ja Rule. Oh, jeez. That's a horrible idea, first of all. So now you're not even gonna be getting a Beg for Mercy check. Do you realize you were supposed to be a part of another G Unit album that was probably gonna go on to sell about 5, 6, 7 million copies with you being a part of it? I really truly believe that the G Unit album that was going to follow up Beg for Mercy was going to be 50, Game, Banks, Buck, and Yayo. That's what I choose to believe. That is what I choose to believe, you guys. Does anybody else in the chat believe that? Do you guys think that the next G Unit album was actually going to be a featured album with the Game on it? That's just my perception. You know what I mean? I think that would have been the best way to sell units. But once the game started beefing, everything changed. You know what I mean? Once the game started beefing, literally everything changed, y'all. And this beef literally started like right after the beginning of 2005. So I really don't know where the G Unit album with the Game could have fit in. You know what I mean? Because they could have recorded it in 2004, sure. They could have had it all recorded. Game's album drops in January, 50's album drops in March. They push it back a little bit, thus having to remove the St. Valentine's Day moniker. You know what I mean? Because of the fact that they moved it out of the February time slot. So they had to remove that moniker, and 50 dropped in March. Now, by this time, 50 and Game were already beefing, I do believe. So there would have really been no time to release that follow-up G Unit project, you know? So that kind of got screwed up from the rip. CM Brock says, do you think 50 was doing too much and should have delegated more instead of doing everything himself? 50 should have delegated more instead of doing everything himself. Yeah, you know, the easy fix back in the day, like the Midas touch, everything, 50 Cent fixes all. You know what I mean? A 50 Cent feature fixes all, you know, but sometimes they wouldn't go for that method. You know, they didn't really go for that method of just tag teaming 50 Cent. Well, actually, they did. If you guys remember on Young Buck's second album, Buck the World, he had a single called Hold On with Young Buck. 50 Cent and Young Buck trading bars. Actually, I think they were kind of dissing Cameron. So yeah, I mean, that's the easy fix for a G Unit project. Throw 50 Cent on the record and you pretty much got one. You know what I mean? Let's see how it goes. But now the way that 50 Cent could have prevented that, the way 50 Cent could have prevented that is to show them to, go out and work with some of these people that I had spoke on earlier. Some of the relationships that 50 Cent could have kept. You know what I mean? Some of the relationships that 50 Cent could have kept rather than start to beef with everybody. So they could have really started branching out themselves. You know what I mean? Tony Yayo having the opportunity to lean on somebody like a Jadakiss, Tony Yayo being able to actually work with Styles P instead of beefing with Styles P, it might have meant a lot more for his career. It might have given him a little bit more credibility when it came to the facet of actually making music. Oh, Jesus. Yep. Yep. My guy says, got a banger. You got a banger effing with 50 Cent. He got a banger effing with 50 Cent. Exactly. Like I said, he was developing his whole solo album with Dr. Dre, and he got a banger working with 50 Cent. Huh. So you're telling me you work with Dr. Dre. You got Dr. Dre. He came to get you, right? He said, "Yo, I got to get this guy. I got to get this guy the game. I got to find the game. Make sure you go there, you better find the game. Don't come back without the game." This story, right? This is the story about the game, right? So you work with Dr. Dre all this time, and it's not until 50 Cent comes into the fold. It's not until Curtis Jackson comes into the fold. And it just so happens that you had been watching Curtis Jackson, right? You were watching Curtis very closely. You were watching him like some like, you know what I'm saying? Some like TV sitcom shit. That was like your favorite shit to watch. Oh shit, what's 50 doing now? In 2001 and actually in 2000 no. In 2003, what was it? 2003 you was playing your PlayStation, right? No, in 2003 you were watching the End of Club video. Stop capping. You were not playing. You were not playing your PlayStation. You were watching the End of Club video. Stop capping. You were too busy watching the In the Club video. You didn't know when the dudes busted into your crib. You were so fixated on 50 Cent in the G Unit video. You're like, yo, shit, look, there's exhibit over there. Oh, shit. Yo, X, what up, bro? Throw it up. X. You know what I mean? No, game. Chill out. Check out what's going on at your front door, man. They done kicked in the crib. You're watching in the club. Get your shit together, man. What's going on with you, dog? Actually, wasn't the game in that music video. So that time change. So that time frame doesn't really match up. It must have been 2001. I was playing my PlayStation. 10 seconds later, 9 shots later, I was down on my chest pacing, something like that. It wasn't that I could think about hiding in the, in the basement. It was either that or the state pen. Yeah. See, I know my shit. But I guess it was 2001 because actually Game was actually in the music video. So excuse me for that, you guys. But I think a lot of people might have enjoyed that little thing I just did. Shit was actually funny as hell. Shit was actually funny as hell. I'm not gonna lie to you. That shit was classic right there. Guys, if anybody wants got any final questions, send them in. Final questions for the Mikey T, the Movie Star podcast. Send them in right now. My guy's smoking on that perp. Smoking on that perp. I'm smoking on this Oreo. Everybody, let me know. Roll call. What's everybody smoking tonight? This has been one of the most live episodes of the Mikey T, the Movie Star podcast. And I appreciate you all for being a part of it. Soon enough, I'm going to have my podcast on, I believe it's going to be on Spotify, iTunes, all that shit. I believe we're going over to Anchor with it, you guys. Podcast coming everywhere. Nobody's going to be able to shut down Mikey T, the movie star. You hitting me up, just hit me up with them big ass deals. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't a big ass deal, don't bring it over here. I ain't even playing. Cause I'm good. So if it ain't a big deal, don't bring it my way. I'm good. But we're going to get the whole podcast thing situated because I really appreciate everybody tuning in. I know some people can't watch me on here stunting. You know what I'm saying? Stunting is a habit. Was that what they said? Stunting is a habit. You know what I'm saying? But I know a lot of people want to listen to this motivation. I know a lot of people want to listen to this shit that I'm saying. Some people say, Mikey T, I be listening at work. Mikey T, I be listening, you know what I mean, when I'm in the whip. So that doesn't mean they can necessarily see me. So I'm going to bring it to the audio platforms. We're going to continue to do it right here on YouTube, though, in this visual format. You know, we're going to have a blast every single night on the show. So if you're not familiar, if you're seeing this for the first time, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe, man. You don't want to miss this shit, man. Live is blogger. Met Diddy, interviewed Wayne, all the biggest celebrities. Guys, my next interview is going to be with Hot Boy Turk. That's right. I got Hot Boy Turk. I got Hot Boy Turk coming on the live Thursday. Live interview with Hot Boy Turk, you guys. That shit is going to be an absolute movie. I hope y'all are ready for this shit. Guys, I have some of the craziest questions for Turk. Why is it crazy, Mikey T? Because it makes sense. That's why. You know what I mean? It makes sense. A lot of the interview, I've been doing a lot of interviews with Turk in my career. So when you do so many interviews with somebody, you build towards getting, further with the questions. So I plan on getting a real good portion of Hot Boy Turk's story tomorrow for everybody. You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to it, man. I've been working on the interview hard for like the last few days, to be honest with you. Why I haven't been back on a podcast for a few days, I actually got a little bit under the weather. You know what I'm saying? So I got kind of messed up. You know what I'm saying? And but I'm good now, so I'm back. I've been working. I was writing the interview with Turk as well as cutting up the Kid interview that I did. That's like a 2.5, 3 hour interview almost. So I'm ready to put out the full Kid interview. I was right in the Hot Boy Turk interview, and this shit is a movie, you guys. The Hot Boy Turk interview is an absolute classic. But even though, I was a little under the weather, I tried to make sure I had content drop every day. You know what I mean? And I'm glad we had a great live tonight. Shit was like 520 people in here tonight. You know what I mean? We was going over the news. I had two major topics tonight. I pretty much finished off my topic from yesterday with 50 Cent. Crazy enough how it involved power tonight. If y'all want to see that, just tap into the first hour of the show. I go over the topics, and then we sort of did the little free for all. Salute to my guys, 10 Toes Down. Salute to Milk. You know what I mean? It ain't nothing, y'all. I know sometimes you can't make it to every live stream. I look forward to talking to both of them in the future, though, because they're both amazing podcasters. You know what I'm saying? They're both amazing on the podcast game. So it's definitely dope to, you know what I mean, have their respect for them to be tapping in. And all of y'all on the real, for everybody to be tapping with me on a consistent basis. I really appreciate it. You know, I'm trying to come on here and, you know, just report on what's going on. A lot of people this day and age, they report on Instagram stories, Instagram comments. So, you know what I mean? Sometimes if it's some crazy shit, you know what I mean, with Gillie actually going in and being like, no, Jimmy, take the cash. It's like, yo, damn, Gillie checked that situation. And then it just so happened that Diddy agreed with him. But Diddy was making light of the internet with that one. I'll be real. I'd take the money too. Are you kidding me? It's like saying name somebody and then offer Diddy $1 million about a conversation. Somebody that really would impact Bad Boy Records. All right, so Bad Boy Records leaves whatever it was. You know what I mean? And they take the meeting with Interscope and Jimmy Iovine. Diddy, we'll give you $1 million if you don't take that meeting. Don't take the meeting, Diddy. Don't take the meeting with Jimmy. Don't take that meeting, Diddy. I'll give you $1 million. You think Diddy wouldn't take that meeting? You'd be out of your mind. Interscope would have never signed Bad Boy Records if he didn't take that meeting. Guys is talking about, oh, I'd rather have $1 million than take a meeting. Miss me with that shit, man. When somebody can make an important meeting mean something, somebody's like, oh, Diddy, I'll give you $1 million, or you could do a meeting with Jimmy Iovine. What do you think Diddy's taking? The question was literally, would you take $1 million or would you have a meeting with Diddy? Diddy answered a question that was about himself. Diddy, would you rather take $1 million or meet yourself? Well, of course, Diddy's going to say, I'd take $1 million. He had the opportunity to meet himself. Jeez. But yeah, no, like I said, all the guys on here, man. My bro Waka Flocka, I seen he had posted something about it. Everybody's really commenting about this. Joel Santana commented about this. Mano commented about this. More people, Omni and a Hellcat commented about this shit. Everybody commented about this shit on social media, you guys. You know what I mean? Everyone's really going crazy about it because of the fact that, you know, they're trying to make Jim Jones look crazy for saying he would take the conversation because Jim Jones said the simple thing of, the very simple thing of, I always take the conversation. Some things are priceless. You know what I mean? It's like if Jim Jones was building himself up, right? Over the last 5, 6 years before he got his meeting and his management situation with Rock Nation. Imagine Jim Jones could have probably went and signed $1 million deal with somebody else, but he decided to put aside all that past BS with Jay-Z. He decided to put aside all that past BS with Jay-Z and actually sign with Rock Nation. What about that, you guys? What about that shit? That says growth, that says intelligence. You know what I mean? And I said the point many times earlier, y'all. So I really hope everybody enjoyed the podcast tonight. You know what I mean? I made the point earlier about Jim Jones actually after he blew up with Ballin on an independent label. I'm sure there were many people offering him $1 million, but he decided to take his meeting with who he took his meeting with. And look what it led to, multi-million dollars. You know what I'm saying? An opportunity of a lifetime when you don't just take the easy way out, you guys. So let's all remember that. Let's all take that in memory of today's podcast. You know what I mean? Let's use that right there. Let's not take the easy way out. Let's not take the easy way out when it actually comes to, making it further in our career paths. You know what I mean? Guys like, hey, you want $1 million? Or do you want me to help you start your record label? And I'm not talking about Joe Schmo helping you start your record label. I'm talking about Sean Diddy Combs. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Let's be real, man. A lot of people voted against it in the poll. If you weren't here earlier, it actually only got 5% out of 200 plus votes, excuse me. It only got 5%. It got 5%, you guys. So everybody literally totally shitted on that whole, you know what I mean? They shitted on that whole thing. They legitimately did. But I want everybody on here to follow me on social media. Make sure you're subscribed here. Make sure you're subscribed here on the channel if you haven't. I'm going to ask y'all to follow me on social media. I'm going to pin it up right now for y'all. Oh shit, I got to end this poll. I'm going to give y'all about 1 more minute with the poll. Everybody, I'm giving y'all 2 more minutes with the poll. I'm about to end the poll in just a minute, everybody. Follow me on social media if you're on social media. If not, just make sure you hit that subscribe button here now so you don't miss any of the live content. Hit the notification bell so you always get pinged when my content is coming on. You don't want to miss tomorrow's live interview. You do not want to miss tomorrow's live interview. I got an interview coming out with Hot Boy Turk. It's about to be a movie. Turk is literally the most viral rapper out right now. And I got a lot of respect for him for actually coming back on the channel, blessing the channel once again. Yep, 50 took it, you guys. Let me look at the poll. I'm about to end the poll. 50 took it, man. Let me take a look at this. Better song. Better song. 50 Cent in the club. I'm ending the poll right now, you guys. This is literally your last minute to vote in the poll if you haven't. So vote right now because I'm literally ending this shit in 1 minute. I'm reading the results and I'm fitting to end it. So if you haven't voted, get your vote in right now. Whether you want to vote 50 Cent in the club or the game, how we do. Everybody make your opinion known now. 50 Cent in the club. Let me check. Let me refresh the page actually just to make sure we're Gucci. 50 Cent in the club has 74% of the vote, you guys. 74% of the vote for in the club. That leaves the game, how we do, with 26% of the vote. So it's pretty evident, y'all. 100% evident, or 74% evident, I should say, that in the club beat how we do. That's how everybody feels tonight. Iceberg, did you want to give your thoughts? How we do or in the club? I put it up in the poll. Did you have any thoughts that I could read out on that? I'm about to end the poll right now. Like I said, follow me on social media, you guys. Make sure you follow me on social media right now. Stay tuned. I got a major exclusive interview with Hot Boy Turk. I've got some great questions for him. My guy said 50 took that. I picked game, though. Interesting. We do have some game fans in the building. There's nothing wrong with people putting up their true opinion. You know what I mean? I just think that there's more people in here that truly believe that In the Club was the superior record of the two. There's nothing wrong with that in the club. One person in the chat earlier had said, in the club stopped time compared to how we do from the game. You know what I mean? In the club stopped time. It changed the world. It made, you know what I mean? It was the beginning of a dynasty. It ended another dynasty. You know what I'm saying? The game tried to end a dynasty. GU not. I know a lot of people have been wanting me to bring up GU not tonight. We all know the game tried to end a dynasty, but what did the game do allegedly? Allegedly, and this is the topic for another day if we ever decide to, you know what I mean, retouch it. But the game decided to drop GU not for $1 million. Who does that? You're telling me you've actually created something? You actually created something that's got legs and you're going to drop it for $1 million? Bad business move. Bad business move, man. So they paid you $1 million and you just stopped. Jeez. Would you continue promoting a successful brand? All right, guys, rappers, would you continue promoting a successful brand or would you take $1 million to stop it? Which one would you do? Because Game took $1 million. Guy started GU not. Oh, Jesus. Iceberg says Jim Jones ballin' versus 50 Cent would have been a better poll. 2 certified club bangers. 2 certified club bangers. Are you serious? All right. I'm throwing it up. I'm throwing the poll up. If anybody wants to vote in the poll, I'm throwing it up. Unorthodox, but we're throwing up a late poll. Late poll just because I want to see a few results from this. Jim Jones balling versus 50 Cent in the club. I'm sorry to keep the stream going long, you guys, but I got to see. Because my dude honestly, brought that to the attention. Let's see what's going on here. Let's go. Wow. 4 votes off the bat, straight up for Jim Jones. 4 votes straight off the bat for Jim Jones. This is crazy. Everybody vote in the poll real quick, man. This is wild. Unorthodox, but I'm throwing it up to end the poll. Shit, this is the ending for the show tonight. Jim Jones versus 50 Cent. Will Jim Jones actually beat 50 Cent for the first time? Will he beat him for the first time tonight, you guys? Let's see what's up. Vote in the poll, everybody. Give everybody an opportunity to vote in the poll. Also, follow me on social media. If you haven't followed me on social media yet, make sure you follow me right now. I got it pinned up for anybody that's wondering. Mikey T, where is it? First of all, it's in the description of the video if you're watching this on demand. Second of all, if you're watching right now, it's pinned up. It's pinned up right now if you're watching. So just click that link and it'll bring you right to my Instagram page. But yeah, while this poll plays out, I'm actually going to light something up. I want to know what y'all think. What's your reasoning, too? I mean, Jones had a label, Bird Gang. I mean, shit, Jones had arguably 2 better artists than 50. Stack Bundles, Max B, Lloyd Banks, Young Buck. Are we comparing? Are we comparing or what? Let's compare this shit, man. You got to throw Game in there, man. And then the fact of the matter is the Game moved 500K first week. The fact of the matter is Lloyd Banks moved nearly 400K first week. Those are the facts, you guys. Let me check out this poll, man. Let me check out this poll, y'all. Sorry to keep everybody so late, but you know we the late night crew. Anyways, we're the late night crew anyways, so don't even get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in here knows we be rocking. What Jim Jones be saying? Vamp life, right? Jim Jones was rocking vamp life forever. Dudes be up at night. Dudes be up at night. Vamp life. Real shit. Mikey T, you know he's about that real shit. And if you're wondering what you're watching the Mikey T, the Movie Star podcast. If you're wondering what you're tuned into, you're tuned into the Mikey T, the Movie Star podcast. Let's see right here. Jim Jones, We Fly High, 88% over In the Club. I just don't think many people are voting right now. You know, y'all can, if you're watching this on demand, y'all can give your thoughts in the chat. Y'all can give your thoughts in the chat or in the comment section, excuse me. Y'all can give your comments in the comment section, y'all. Definitely appreciate everybody who watched this video on demand. I hope you enjoy it. I hope everybody enjoys this video on demand. I really appreciate everybody that tuned in live. Y'all know who I am. I am the host, Mikey T, the Movie Star. That's right. Oh, shit. But yeah, man, I definitely appreciate everybody tapping in tonight. Like I said, I want y'all to follow me on social media if you haven't. But more importantly than that, follow me right here on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, y'all. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss my live reaction videos to what's going on. Make sure you don't miss my live interviews. I've got all types of new content coming, you guys, that I don't want you to miss. So make sure you hit the notification bell right now. Don't trip. Don't trip if you're just tapping in. There's going to be another live video all the time. Tomorrow night, every single night, you could tap in and see Mikey T, the Movie Star, y'all. Whether it's interview content, every day you make sure you tap into this channel and watch some of the content. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. And I will see y'all on the next episode, man. Peace. Appreciate y'all, yo.